All right. What is up, everybody? Welcome back once again to Hot Toys Hotline Live. We got a fun one this week, guys. A lot of crazy stuff happening this week. Of course, as you guys know, we are right in the thick of Anakin 2023. So I'm really excited to talk about this stuff. I know everybody on this wonderful panel tonight is excited to talk about it. Of course, as always, we have more people coming shortly. Lane and Chris will be joining us a little bit later. But as you guys can see, I gotta give him his introduction first because it's like he's a mythical creature. We have Owen from In the Detoff. He finally made it back. You know, I know. I'm sure his buddies are going to be in the chat, excited to see him here.
They're already here.
Oh, they are. Oh yeah, I see No Nerve. I think that's one of your buddies. There we go. So yeah, it looks like everybody's here. Everybody's trolling me, saying, "I'm sorry, guys. For some reason, my computer time keeps getting thrown off, and it ends up making me start late." But hey, we're here. But Owen, thanks for being here, dude. It's great to have you here.
A lot to talk about.
Yeah, and I know one figure in particular that you and I have been hoping and praying for.
Yes.
Finally has shown its face, so we're excited to talk about it. And I know that's probably your buddy too. Greetings from Mongolia. Also, guys, we have Ryan from Mr. Mom Collectibles. Ryan, it's great to have you on, dude. Right on time, 7 o'clock. We got a strong crew here at 7 o'clock. It's great to have you on, though, as always, dude. Great to have you here.
I appreciate it. I'm sorry you don't get to see my beautiful Brad Pitt style face.
I know everybody in the chat's probably really disappointed.
I know. I'm literally the epitome of Mr. Mom right now, watching my daughter. But so you got me on audio for a little bit, but I couldn't miss it. I couldn't miss tonight. We got some
bangers, man. Some absolute bangers. Some interesting stuff to talk about. We appreciate it, dude, for sure. And then finally, last but certainly not least, we have Sean, the Hot Toys Nightmare. Sean, thanks so much for being here. Thank you for joining us right at 7 o'clock. It's great to have everybody here starting off at our normal time because, guys, I know we've been pushing it back, but we're like, tonight we got to be on time because there's so much to talk about. So great to have you here as always, Sean.
Well, you're welcome.
Thanks, Sean. Very much appreciate you. But guys, of course,
to the point.
Yeah, I mean, hey, can't go wrong. Let's say what's up to some people in the chat. I know the chat's kind of popping off. 20 people here already within the first minute. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Let's see. We got some guy in the chat, one of our great moderators. Some guy says, "Let's go in farts for the win." I know. Some guy, you just got your InArt Joker in finally. I know you're really excited to take a look at the Hot Toys one as well. So great to have you here as always, dude. It's not a Hot Toys hotline stream without you. We got Boba Fettuccine in the house. Boba Fettuccine says, "Hey-o, what's up, Boba? What's up, man? I hope you're doing well. I know you're probably really excited about some of this stuff, so I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it." Let's see, who else? We got Ty in the chat. Ty saying, "What's up to everybody?" What's up, Ty? I hope you're doing well. Great to have you here, as always. I'm really excited to hear your thoughts as well. I saw you commenting on some of the stuff as we were posting it in the Facebook group. By the way, guys, as always, link in the description for the Facebook group. We got over 400 members now. Don't worry, guys. The giveaways are going to start flooding in. I also have a physical prize giveaway. We'll be announcing that very soon, probably next week. So a lot of giveaways to be happening soon. So definitely join the Facebook group if you haven't already. A lot of great stuff going on over there. Let's see. We got Ian here. Ian was just commenting on some of my videos this morning. What's up, Ian? Ian says, "We got Joker. We got Anakin. We got John Wick and Kane. Man, what a great week. Hell, even the Predator got me hyped." Yes, a lot of great stuff. And guys, I'm so glad to see that rumor list that we put out, there was some stuff that came to fruition there. Unfortunately, none of those Iron Man. I'm sure you guys are really upset that those Iron Man didn't pop up. I know everybody was real upset about that this morning, but of course, I'm only joking. I know everybody was rejoicing because they didn't see those Iron Man pop up. But great to have you here as always, Ian. Thank you so much for being here. Another one of our great moderators, Payton23. Payton says, "Good evening, everybody." Good evening, Payton. I hope you're doing well. We also have No Nerve here. No Nerve says, "Can I get mod, please?" I'm sorry, dude. I ran out of mod tokens. I can't give you mod, but maybe Owen can help you out with that. Let's see who else we got here. Sorry, guys. I'm just scrolling through. Dave says, "Scalper Wars." That's me. That's all right, dude. Hey, join us, man. We're talking about the scalping, man. Perfect time for you to join us. Maybe you can offer some insight during these Scalper Wars. We're right among the Scalper Wars. Let's see. Hedgehog says, "Late." I know, dude. I know. OG fan, another one of our great moderators here. He says, "Hello, everyone." Hello to you, OG. I hope you're doing well, bro. Great to have you here. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on especially some of the Star Wars stuff, man. Let's see who else we got. As always, guys, if I skip over you as I see your comments coming through, I'll say what's up. We got Jeremy from Plastic Hero Collectibles. What's up, Jeremy? I knew Jeremy was gonna pop in. You know, he made a joke about the scalper wars as well. Guys, as always, I got to give Jeremy a plug. Check out Jeremy from Plastic Hero Collectibles. There's a link to his Facebook group, which he sells through, in the description. I know everybody wants these Anakins, these Jokers. I don't know what Jeremy's going to get, but if he does get anything, I'm sure he's going to post it up on the page. So if you want a chance at getting it, why not follow his Facebook group? Definitely check him out. I buy stuff from Jeremy all the time, more than I should. He probably thinks I don't buy enough, though. But great to have you here as always, Jeremy. We got Yomo in the house. What's up, Yomo? I hope you're doing well, man. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you being here, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts on everything, dude. CSI says, what's up, everyone? Hot Toys Hotline. I hope you're feeling better. I am, dude. Thank you so much for that. I'm feeling better this week for sure. I know you were commenting on my posts, my community post, saying Hot Toys Cold Line. So I love this. Funko Pop. Exactly, dude. Exactly. Sluggin16 says, hey, sir. Hey there, Hot Toys Hotline crew and fellow collectors. What's up, Sluggin? Sluggin, a lot of Street Fighter stuff this week popping up, dude. I'm sure you're really excited for that, like I am. I can't wait to see more photos of all the stuff coming out. So I hope you were as excited as I was. I'm sure you were. Let's see what else. Scrolling through. Insane One is here. I know Insane One, you had your comment in first. I saw it, but with that live chat, if you get in super early, it disappears. So don't worry, I saw you. Another one of our fantastic moderators, Insane One, is here. Thank you so much for being here, bro. We appreciate you. All right, we have a super chat here. This is £2, right? This is £2. John Lick, very popular in my country. I love it, dude. Well, hey, we got to give you something funny for your funny comment. So I'm gonna pull up our boy Chris here, our favorite UPS driver. We're gonna give you a message from him. I gotta pull up this one, dude. We've only used it once or twice. Come on now. And Owen, I don't know if you've seen this one yet. I don't know if you were in the chat when we debuted this one. So here we go.
You got a super chat. Get a super chat. A what? A super chat.
Come on, I done told you, I'm about tired of this super this and super that. I'm about to put my super foot in here. Oh, hey there. Almost didn't see you again. My son must have been talking about them super chats. Well, Hot Toys Hotline and I just want to say thank you very much. And whether it's rain, sleeting, or snow, we'll make sure we get your hot toys to you.
There you go. Thank you so much, by the way, Beast. I appreciate you. And for that $2, troll Owen as much as you want this stream. You just earned it, dude. Thank you so much.
Can you imagine someone looking out their window and seeing him do that?
I think about that every time he makes a video.
I love it.
His neighbors,
well, his wife and I, we say that all the time. Like, imagine him just being in a random neighborhood next to his UPS.
In the rain and everything. Yeah, that's glorious.
Him on TikTok.
You need a subject that as
right?
Jim Bob the Brown Knob wears a condom.
Well, Ryan's got an idea. Maybe Chris should start a TikTok just of his Jim Bob character. We got Jordan Skinner. By the way, Jordan Skinner, congratulations. Jordan Skinner just picked up the Christopher Reeve Superman from me. So she's a proud new owner of Christopher Reeve Superman, and I saw everything arrived okay. But awesome to have you here. You've been getting a lot of stuff, Jordan, a lot of cool stuff. You look like Owen this week. You look like Owen this week getting all this stuff in.
Just don't sell it.
Hey,
starting off
too soon.
What's wrong with you?
Oops.
Yes, guys. One of the greatest quotes out of all the great quotes from our boy Insane One here. He says, "This looks like the smartest chat around, so I know you will leave a like and subscribe to the Hot Toys Hotline and this killer panel if you haven't already." My tapeworm, thanks y'all. So yes, guys, if you haven't already, consider dropping a like on the stream and subscribe to not only my channel but all these great people here. Links in the description as always. David is here. What's up, David? David, we're going to get David on eventually. David and I talk very frequently. And David was like, dude, I would love to come on. You talk about some awesome stuff I'd like to talk about. So we're going to have David on eventually. But what's up, David? I hope you're doing well, bro. Always great to see you here. And thank you, OG, for dropping the links in the chat. And Matt is here. Better late than never. Matt says, good evening, everyone. Lots of goodies to talk about. Absolutely. And we're going to be talking about it very shortly. Lots of great stuff to talk about. One of our great moderators, though, as always. Let's see. Who else we got here? And then finally, I think I got everyone. As always, guys, if I missed, I'll see you guys throughout the chat. 16 Star Wars Pimpazoid says, bring on the Star Wars releases. Yes, absolutely. Very, not too many. I don't know if you guys can hear the vacuuming. My girl, I think my girlfriend's vacuuming in the background. So sorry if you guys can hear that. But thank you so much for being here. Star Wars Pimp is one of my favorite usernames other than Boba Fettuccine. So thank you so much for being here. Joshua Alvarez is here. Joshua says, my wallet. I know, dude. I know. A lot of this stuff. There's a lot of great stuff. So I can't wait to talk about it. But with that being said, guys, we're going to get right into it. We're going to talk about some really awesome stuff that's been dropping over the past couple days. Ekwan, come on, man. You're opening the wound, dude. He says, look at all the Return of the Jedi 40th figures being shown off. Oh, wait. I know, dude. I know. Hot Toys kind of tricked us with that one. But, hey, maybe somewhere over the rainbow we'll see those figures.
He's not wrong.
And Mike is here. What's up, Mike? Mike Latoris is here. Mike, I hope you're doing well, bro. Great to have you here, man.
Hey, man,
Thanks
we never thought we'd get
John
John Wick, right? You know what's happened. So, faith. Keep it up.
That's true. That's true. Don't give up yet, guys. Hot Toys is just behind. That's what we have to tell ourselves. They're just a little behind. But here we go, guys. We're taking a look at the Anakin. Obviously, this one has been the talk of the town. Now, I'm going to start this off with a poll because I think for this one it's very important. And I'm going to pull the question up on the screen as well because we're gonna kind of start this conversation off strong. But let me start a poll here. And I'm gonna ask you guys: are you willing to shell out scalper prices for this DX Artisan line? So I'm typing this out. Are you willing to shell out the money for DX Artisan figures? All right. So yes or no, guys. The question is now up. So go ahead and vote in that poll. I'm very curious to see what everyone's thoughts are because, we're very much in deep with these figures right now in terms of pricing from this DX Artisan line. So I kind of wanted to start off talking about the Anakin. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, I've got it listed here at the bottom of the screen. The DX Artisan Joker is 4,000 pieces, and the DX Artisan Anakin is 3,000 pieces. So in terms of being limited, yes, we've had more limited figures, but these are two very big figures. I was talking about this over the past couple of days with some friends, and we kind of all agreed. It's very interesting that Hot Toys decided to make these so limited, considering how big these characters are, right? We have Anakin Skywalker, one of the biggest, if not the biggest character in Star Wars, depending on where your fandom lies. And then you got Heath Ledger's Joker, for most people, the best Joker, and always will be the best Joker. So two huge characters, and Hot Toys decided to make these very limited. And obviously, it's for a reason. This is their new DX Artisan line. And this is so interesting, right? Because, Ryan and I, we did a whole stream about the DX line and how we think they could revamp this line. And I remember we talked about, hey, maybe they'll kind of go the InArt route and start offering rooted hair, and that's how they revamp the DX line. So am I surprised to see the DX line moving in this direction? Not at all. And I think that's kind of smart, guys, that they're doing DX and DX Artisan, because that kind of differentiates, okay, the regular DX figure, this is what this comes with. The DX Artisan, you could expect rooted hair, maybe better materials. I don't know if it's been confirmed whether this is real leather on the Anakin or not. It looks like pleather to me. If it's not, I would have liked to have seen real leather if they're calling it DX Artisan. But with that being said, I do think this Anakin looks pretty fantastic, guys. The initial photos, obviously, he was shown off at the Sideshow Con. All of these photos, by the way, guys, are from Anakin, the event that's being held right now. This is where all these figures are being showed off. This is where they're debuting. Obviously, we saw some of them at the Sideshow Con. But obviously, with those initial photos, guys, with this Anakin, the hair really wasn't kind of futzed in the right ways. And it looked a little bit kind of poofy, and there was hair sticking up and stuff like that. And we've even seen that with InArt. At their first event, some of the figures, the hair wasn't really properly combed the right way, and it looked a little bit weird in some photos. But obviously, when the final product showed up, it was much better. In the final product photos, that kind of made a huge difference. So I'm going to share my piece on this Anakin, and then we'll move on down the panel. Guys, you guys know me. Anakin is my all-time favorite character in all of Star Wars. So for me, the moment I saw this, I'm like, I don't care that I have the dark side Anakin, the light side Anakin, what have you. I have to have this. This was a must-have for me from the moment I saw it. And you guys know I've never been a big fan of rooted hair, and I'm just starting to give it more of a chance. I've had rooted hair experiences with Hot Toys in the past using that crappy nylon hair, and it kind of put a sour taste in my mouth. But now, since it's kind of being put in the forefront, both with InArt and Hot Toys, I'm like, maybe I should give it another chance. And I think with this figure especially, it's really driving me to give Rooted Hair another chance because it's a character that's very special to me. So this is very much a figure that's very important to me, and I really want to lock one down. I will say, guys, the reason we're bringing up this conversation about scalper wars, if you guys haven't noticed, these figures are being very heavily scalped to the point where even just a ticket to be able to go to pre-order these figures is $250. That doesn't include the price of the figure or what the reseller sells the figure for. Some of these people who secure these tickets are selling just the tickets for $250. So the question is, for us in the US, or Owen also, who buys from Sideshow every once in a while, how difficult is it going to be? How are they going to do it? How many is Sideshow going to get? Because we can't just assume, oh, our normal math, if there's 3,000 worldwide, Sideshow is going to get 1,000. We don't know that. This is a new line. Hot Toys may limit them to 500, 750. We don't know. So that's really the most difficult thing, is the uncertainty of what's going to happen with this for us in the US. How are we going to be able to get it? Because it's difficult for those in Hong Kong and those in China trying to get it. So how difficult is it going to be for us in the US, who's kind of the secondary market for Hot Toys? So that's a question I pose to a lot of you guys. And of course, guys, in the chat, I would like to hear how many of you guys are really kind of thirsting for these figures, the Anakin or the Artisan Joker, specifically the 2 Rooted Hair figures. I'm very curious to hear how many of you guys are interested in going for these, because obviously we know like Rooted Hair is not for everybody. And also these prices are getting insane. I mean, Owen, we'll jump to you because I know you've been kind of trying to secure one yourself. What are some of the prices you've been seeing for these? And if you don't mind, I'd like you to share like what you'd be willing to pay for this, because, for me, I said my cap was $650 on this one. As much as I love the character, I'm not willing to shell out a lot of money for it, because who knows what they're going to be worth once the prices crash and everybody starts getting their figures, and who knows what they're going to be worth. So if you pay too much, you're immediately going to lose your money, So kind of talk about your thoughts on the Anakin. And then certainly if you're comfortable, share what you'd be willing to pay for this figure, because, that really determines how much it means to you. So
I have one Star Wars figure in my entire collection right now, and that is Anakin. It is pretty much the only character in Star Wars that I really always felt like I needed to have one. So I told the supplier, I won't mention who, but that I would go up to 900 USD. Basically that is like the top end. Even he said it probably won't go to that, and I said, yeah, I know, but I don't want you to have to come back to me and say, is this price okay? Is this price okay? Just that's my ceiling. Try to stay under that. Like you said, the people are charging for the ticket just to be able to buy one, and then you've got to pay the retail price on top of that, and then you've got to pay shipping and handling, which obviously I'm in the UK. And then you also have to pay however much profit that person wants to get on the figure, which I'm assuming they're going to probably want some, right?
Yeah, especially because they're so limited, right? I mean, you can't blame resellers for wanting to make a little money off of it.
Wait, I know for him, for example, he was literally on the phone all day trying to get as many as he can, and then he thought he had secured quite a few, and then all of a sudden Hot Toys came out and said it's no longer a queue, it is now a raffle, so even if you're the first person here, you might not necessarily get one. It's all up in the air. I did put in the chat, it's sort of the only information we have right now is 800 in Hong Kong, and then 500 in mainland China. So, I mean, it's pretty safe to assume that Sideshow would get the rest, I think. Is that right?
Well, I mean, so you also have, like, I don't know, is Pop Culture going to get these? I know they're the official distributor in Australia.
In Australia, yeah, that's very true.
I don't know how they're going to spread them out. So, and Owen, the question that arises, and guys, Chris is just joining us as well. Chris, you're just in time. We just started talking about Anakin. I know you're going to do your grand entrance, but real quick, Owen, the question that lies is, how is Sideshow going to do it? Are they going to do
the queue system?
Because the queue system raffle has been working very well.
Yeah, I got the Advanced Suit 2.0 and that worked.
Right, I got
amazingly.
both Spider-Man figures and I got to applaud Sideshow. The queue, and I was you guys know I was preaching that forever. I was like, please do a queue system. Please do a queue system. It works. I know, people that miss are going to say it sucks, doesn't work, but it's really the best, most fair option in my opinion, because lottery, it's a shot in the dark. For this Anakin, let's say they give us 500 or even 750. how many thousands of people are going to be going for these? Way more than what's allotted. That's for sure. Considerable amount more. So it's going to be difficult for sure. And we have an answer from, because Jeremy is in Australia. He says Australia don't get any exclusive. So that answers our question right there. So I don't know how they're going to disperse the rest of them.
I'm not sure about Japan either.
Yeah, I highly doubt Sideshow is going to get the rest of them because that would be quite a lot. Yeah, but maybe they'll get 1,000. I mean, but then I would hope so. The more, the better, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is the Advanced Suit 2.0 was 14 minutes it sold out in. Miles was like 25 minutes, I think, on Sideshow, and both of those figures have not got anywhere near the popularity that this is going to have. You're talking under 5 minutes, I think.
It's going to be a bloodbath. The website may not be able to handle it regardless of the queue system.
That's what makes me think raffle.
Disney, who's been doing the queue system forever, they have issues sometimes with really big releases. So it's certainly possible that the website will have issues as well. So, but I do think the queue system is the most fair system. I got to be honest with you, because like the raffle again, like people can just create a bunch of accounts and enter them all into the raffle. There's a guy, I'm not going to name anybody, but I know somebody that was commenting in one of the groups. He said he made 80 accounts for the Wonder Woman. So it's like, the raffle isn't necessarily the best idea in my opinion. Anyway, is it fair in some ways? Yes, but I'm not a big fan of the raffle thing. I'd rather take my chances on the website. If I'm not fast enough, I'm not fast enough. That's that's where it sits the best with me. Not I didn't get an email because I didn't get selected. I prefer for the queue system personally.
I'm surprised there wasn't a capture on the website there. Like we need to check your bot.
Yeah. There's many things they could do to improve it, but at least they're starting and going in the right direction, in my opinion.
Better than the cap release.
For sure, because that was obviously like a total nightmare.
Yeah.
But we're gonna, Chris. If you want to make your grand entrance now, I don't know if you got yourself ready, man, or if you're just like, I'm not feeling it today. I don't. Bro, you set the bar, dude. You set the bar, dude.
It hurts though, man, dude. This heat is killing me. This is all I can do. This is what I feel. This weight is lifting me down. But we're still a champion, and we still gonna celebrate with all these announcements. Let's freaking go.
There you go. Chris, and once again, you came just in time to talk about the Anakin.
That's all the energy I got left.
Yeah, that's fair, dude. I know you've been sweating in this 100-degree heat all day. It's been rough for everybody, I think, around here. But
volume 1 though.
let me address some of the comments, and then we're gonna move on. I want to hear Chris's thoughts on this since he just got here. Let's see. And guys, I asked, by the way, if you're just getting here, I asked the chat, what are your thoughts on this figure, and would you be willing to spend the money to try to get this figure? And of course, there is a poll as well, so make sure you vote in that poll. Penn says, sorry, I think Lane is backstage. I don't see you, Lane. Lane said he's backstage. I don't see him. Maybe he went in and out. Oh, there he is. There's Lane. There he is. I'm actually going to move us now that we're all here. Lane, what's up, by the way? I'm just reading some comments here, and we're just starting to talk about the Anakin. Penn says, I will dopo 2 rooted Obi-Wan, any variety, but really pulling for the beautiful Attack of the Clones. Well, hey, hopefully you get your DX Artisan Obi-Wan episode 2. I know you would be over the moon for that one. I don't know about getting 2, though. That'd be very difficult if it's a DX Artisan. Let's see. Matt says the sculpt and the hair are incredible. Indeed, I think it looks really good. I think they did a great job. Mike says, no thanks, I'm new. I just want sculpted hair, Revenge of the Sith Anakin. The rooted, when done perfectly, looks great in pictures, but I prefer sculpted in my collection. And I'll always prefer sculpted myself as well. And the good news, at least on the light side Anakin, I have seen the prices started to go down already to more like the $350, $375 range recently. So buy them while they're hot, because once everybody gets disappointed that they don't get this, they're going to start paying for that one again as well. So David says he's passing on a 1.6 combs and 1.6 hair dryers. That's fair. Maybe I need to invest in a little 1.6 hair dryer. Maybe that's the best way to do it. Sluggum16 says, to be honest, I started collecting last year and I don't have any light or dark side Anakin. I hope I get converted for this one. Best of luck to you. Again, I hope Sideshow gets as many as they really can, because this one's going to be very difficult to get for sure. Peyton says, this is where the fun begins. Perfect quote for the situation, huh? 1-6 Star Wars Pimpazoid says, I will pick it up if I can, but I won't pay scalper prices if I can't get it. And that's fair. That's fair. You got to have a line somewhere, guys. Again, as much as I love this character, I personally wouldn't go beyond like $650 myself. It's just not worth it to me.
I know the simple way to do it. If you don't need rooted.
What's that, Lane?
Make sure you already have a Clone Wars Anakin. Buy the Attack of the Clones one. Pop the heads out. Boom. You're done.
Wise words from Lane. Or if you're like me, you got to have every single Anakin, Lane. Smoke them. By the way, guys, and if one of the moderators wouldn't mind dropping the RSVP links for both the Anakin and the Joker in the chat, you can now RSVP for both of these on Sideshow. No dates or any information provided about when and where to get them and how you're gonna be able to get them. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. Ian says, rooted hair kind of scares me. I'd rather get sculpted myself. And that's fair, especially if you're a newer collector. All you newer collectors out there, rooted hair definitely requires some futzing. It requires some maintenance to get it looking right. If you put products on it, I'm sure you can get it to stay in place. But just keep in mind, there's a bit more to it than sculpted hair. TK says, Anakin is really the only one I'm willing to pay for. Skip the rooted and give us accessories / dioramas. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people would agree with you because, a lot of people, once again, aren't rooted hair fans out there. So Mike says the quality of the rooted hair on Anakin and the Joker already make the upcoming Catwoman look dated. What are the chances her delay has something to do with updating her hair? I would say probably not. I would say she's probably going to look the same. I'm just hoping at the very end of the day that she has real leather boots. Because, she is notorious, the original one, for having pleather issues. So
I just like her facial mask to actually be removable so you can actually see a full head sculpt for that.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Facebook user, by the way, there are instructions if you would like to share your name. Facebook user says, being from the UK, I'm kind of jealous of Americans with Sideshow, these exclusives being easier to get from them. I think with these are kind of easier said than done. I think these are going to be very difficult. Honestly, the last two announcements, at least for me, last two exclusive, the Spider-Man 2 ones, they weren't difficult to get for me. And I know that Miles was very limited, but it seems like more people wanted the Advanced Suit 2.0. So Paul's here. What's up, Paul? Paul says, I done RSVP for Artisan, Anakin, and the Joker on Sideshow just now. Heck yeah. Once again, I don't know if they dropped the links, but when you guys get a chance, please drop those links in the chat, and then everybody can head over and RSVP. Guys, I'll read more comments, but I kind of want to hear Chris. I know we've been talking about this Anakin ever since we saw these initial photos, and I'll kind of go back to this first photo here because it's kind of more zoomed in on his face. But Chris, what are your thoughts on the Anakin, man? And what are you willing to pay? Because I already know you want to get this one in your hands, but what are you willing to pay for this? What's your
get my dirty paws all on it?
Yeah, but not too dirty because this is a special figure. You don't want too dirty paws.
Yeah. No, I mean, as far as from me, what isn't there to like about it? Like, I've completely, just jaw dropped every time I see it. Like, kind of looks like I saw these things floating around. It was looks better than Hayden himself. Like, it's almost like that's Hayden and Hayden's not, if that makes sense. But
right,
obviously, that'd be a stupid thing to say because it's a figure, but that's how good it looks, at least to me. Like, I think it looks pretty spot on, so I'm super hyped about it. Hopefully I can get it. I'm gonna keep myself limited. Like, obviously there is a limit to what I would pay for him, and even if I miss it and the price is super high, hopefully it comes down and eventually I can get into one, but I'd be willing to part with my light side for it. So yeah, that's how down I am for this one.
And what's your cap, Chris? If you had to put a hard number on it, what would you be willing to pay for this Anakin?
I know you said $650, but that's kind of pushing past the.
Oh, it's certainly.
I would say $6, to be honest. But yeah, even then, I don't even want to pay that. But that's where I'd be willing to go. That's where I'm like, okay, that's the cutoff. If it's over, yeah, it can go. It's good, but at the end of the day, it's updated, but it's still a figure, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. And Chris, there was something here that you pointed out when we were kind of talking on the phone about this earlier. it's interesting, right? Because this is an expensive figure, you know, and obviously the rooted hair definitely adds to the cost. But we have a USB powered Anakin lightsaber, but the Dooku saber that's included is not USB powered. And I know you kind of had a theory about that and some thoughts on that. So if you want to talk about that.
I know we went back and forth about it and whatnot, but I pretty much just assume, you know, like any Hot Toys is unpredictable. Eventually, I think down the line, it doesn't even have to be tomorrow, within this year, next year. It could be like just planning, you know, say 5 years from now, whatever, you know, another anniversary that they do decide to do a 2.0 Dooku and whatever comes with it. I know one of their options has been recently with these 2.0s and updated Sith or Jedi figures is to have that USB lightsaber.
Yeah.
And a person who purchases like me, you're very specific with your figures, very specific with what comes in. And if you already have it, unless it blows the other one out of the water, there's no need to upgrade. And so if I were to get a USB lightsaber with my Anakin, to be honest, I would just give it to Dooku. And then if they ever did a 2.0 and say that's all it came with and maybe rolling eyes, I probably wouldn't upgrade because I'd have the most important part, which is their weapon. So I kind of feel like they had that in the back of their head, like, okay, if we did do this, maybe our numbers would look a little bit different if we were to do a 2.0 in the future.
Yeah.
Not saying that that's the reason, but it is very possible.
Yeah, so Chris had those thoughts, and I found that interesting. I told Chris, like, honestly, if I'm being blunt about this, I think Hot Toys is just being cheap. They're like, you know what, we're spending all these resources doing the rooted hair. People probably aren't going to use this lightsaber to begin with. Let's just give them a USB Anakin saber and call it a day. But
the light side one didn't come with a light up arm either.
No, it didn't. Yeah, it just had the regular. So it's like I feel like for them, this Dooku saber was just an afterthought. But I mean, you know, Chris raises a good point. You never know. I mean, we've talked about the 2.0 possibilities of the Dooku, but you know, in the future, you know, I'm sure nothing is safe at this point. But
and see, when you bring that point up, what I countered to that was they had that lightsaber, but then to get your attention, like obviously they had to make Dooku, so if they did it again, of course he would light up arm like all the other ones. But if you take a look at Reva or whatever, and Darth Vader comes with both of her sabers, also USB powered, but they did a Reva. So it's kind of like they don't have that 2.0 yet. So I don't know. Just in my head, like it takes money somewhere. Like, because me, I would take advantage of that all day. Like I would definitely give it to my Dooku, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think most people would. Tom asked a question. He says, can you clarify the link to pre-order in Hong Kong was a raffle? So what Owen was saying is you have to get into a queue, and then just getting in the queue doesn't guarantee you a figure. Once you get into the queue, then you're put into a raffle. So it's a very drawn out process to get these figures. Not only that, I was also told that there was 300 figures allotted for people that attended this event. So that took away 300 of that allotment, which made it even more difficult to get, which is why these prices are getting driven up so much. Again, people are just to have a spot is people are charging 250 USD. That doesn't account for the price of the figure or anything like that. So it's very expensive for sure. Penn says sculpted light side Anakin has sharp hair and cuts into his tunic. Yeah, and if you're not careful, I've seen a lot of people shred up that tunic on the back. Ryan, I think you're here. Ryan, are you here, Ryan?
I am here.
Awesome. All right. Well, Ryan, we're going to move on to you because I know you and I were kind of sharing similar thoughts on this one. We were really excited when it first dropped. I think you're still kind of trying to make sure you have one of these secured. What are your thoughts on this Anakin, being that this is another step in that kind of rooted hair deluxe figure direction? We saw it with the Wonder Woman, now seeing it with Anakin and Joker. What are your thoughts on the figure? How do you think it looks? And what are you willing to shell out for this figure at the end of the day? What's your cutoff?
It's a good looking figure. I'll be very honest. It's not worth the value and what the scalpers are charging. It's due to that exclusivity. That's something that I know you and I talked about, where I'm not gonna trust me. You know me. I've always talked about the Hot Toys InArt stuff, but the reality is, Hot Toys did set the precedent on these figures by capping them at 4,000, 3,000. So they already put it out that this is going to be exclusive, which in turn will cause them to raise in value. The problem is they're reaching prices that are really ridiculous, that are not worth their value. That I'm worried that they're going to skyrocket and then they're going to crash. Because with Anakin, at the end of the day, if it was all leather, then I could say, all right, you know what, it's not worth the value of $700. It's not worth that value. But there's people that want it just for the sake of, they want it, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we're no one's here that can judge anybody. Like Owen, he named his price. Can I be honest with you? I don't have a limit. That's not saying I would spend $1,000 on it, but I don't have a limit right now. I'm working with someone also that Owen knows in the background to try to secure one, and all I said was I'm deposit ready. So when he emails me back and says, "Hey, this is what it is. It's comfortable. Here's a deposit," and that's honestly where I'm at right now. To talk about value, I talked to you. I secured a Joker. I paid the aftermarket value for it just because the point blank reason is I wanted it. I personally don't collect for value in the sense of I'm worried if this is going to retain or lose value over time. I saw it. I honestly wanted it because it's the first in the series. And Connor, I think I talked to you. I might go down the route of collecting all the Artisan series figures. You don't know. This is new territory for Hot Toys. And for me personally, I'm saving so much money in my personal situation because I know people are quick to judge, like, oh, I've never spent that money. Well, no one knows how people budget their finances. I know for me, I actually switched my whole buying process off of Sideshow, and I'm going with local comic book shops like Off the Racks, other places like that I'm saving so much money on those purchases. I can afford to buy something like this and not lose sleep over it. Not everyone can say that. You know what I'm saying? So that, and so therefore, that's why I'm comfortable in my decision-making process over this. And also, to be fair, these figures aren't coming out for like a year. It would be a different tune if these figures are due out in like 3 months. Then I'd be like, you know what? I can't afford this kind of stuff. But the fact that they're not coming out for almost a year, I believe, that it gives you time to breathe and figure this stuff out. So, but I admit they're not worth that value. It's just, it is what it is. Like, if you miss out, you pay the after price. But it does set kind of a precedent going forward with these figures. I do think the Anakin looks great. I don't have an Anakin at all. So that's part of the reason why I want this one. It does make me kind of concerned what they'll do with a dark side, because they'll probably do a dark side one going down the road. It is kind of for those who, I kind of wish they did a sculpted version also to kind of like give the poor man's version a chance, like they did with the Joker. So for people who missed out on the Rooted, you can kind of get the sculpted one if you missed out. I know with Anakin, it is what it is. Like, it's this. But yeah, I mean, people just got to be, it's just interesting how this is going to be the precedent going forward. How many of these DX figures are we going to get per year? Is this is Hot Toys going to look at the process and see, we might change it up a little bit and do something different? It does tell me one thing, that they're not ready for mass production Rooted at all. Like, they're not, and they may never be. I was kind of hoping that we would see these at a mass produced level where everyone would have a chance, but collectors have wanted exclusivity, and you got your answer. There's a percentage of people out there that I've always said, I want stuff to be limited. I back in the old days, before all of us were probably collecting Hot Toys, or most of us, I should say. This is your answer this is the 2023 answer to that is this. So you don't have to like it, but this is where we're at. I do hope, my final thought is, I kind of hope that maybe Hot Toys ups the production a little bit over time to where maybe instead of 4,000, we get like 8,000, and still keep it limited. Like, you can still limit this, but just up the numbers to give people a little more hope. But once again, I always say this, Hot Toys doesn't owe the collectors anything. If this is what they wanted to do, it's what they're going to do. And and my final thought is, it's kind of on the collectors, to have responsibility. We're showing them that we're willing to pay this price. Flat. I mean, I'm an example of it. I just told you I would. Owen is. We're example. I mean, we all are. We're telling them what we're willing to pay, and if that's the case, then these prices are going to continue to go up because they hear that collectors are willing to pay that price. For every one person that says no, 3 people might pay for it at the end of the day, and so that is why this is not going to be the end of it, and you're going to see it continue to go probably higher because they're going to keep. I mean, to be real with you, Connor, and I'll pose this. You said your number is 650. If someone said they can get you one guaranteed for 7, you wouldn't pay 7? Realistically,
mean,
for 50,
of course,
for $50,
like,
you know, I mean,
when
I'm saying
you're,
that's what's
you know
gonna
how I
happen,
am,
though.
dude. I mean, it's like you set a number for yourself.
Of
If
course,
you know, if
yeah.
someone poses like, "Hey, I can get you one right now," I mean, you know, you have
But
your
that's what
hard
collectors
number.
are gonna do.
Sometimes you jump past that. You know, it's
Of course,
when
yeah,
you got
no,
the buy button in front of you.
oh,
Certainly,
dude, I'm guilty of it.
I wouldn't say no. I would absolutely not
I'm
spend
guilty of it
some. You
like
know what I
anybody
mean?
else, man. I'm just as guilty. But that's what I mean, though, is that hey,
Yeah.
you're willing to pay 7. Hey, you could do 750. You could do 8, and you could do it. You know, that extra $50. Oh, it doesn't really make a big difference. Next thing you know, you're spending $1,000 on a figure. I mean, I'm not trying to throw shade, but that's just what the reality is, and that's kind of what I'm concerned about. What this exclusivity thing is going to be going forward is when does the buck stop? But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. Great thoughts, Ryan. 160's Nut says, I think the large pre-orders on InArt Rooted Joker overwhelm them and push back their schedule. Hot Toys is smart to limit their first week figures. And I do think Hot Toys has been in business long enough to where they know kind of what they're capable of in a certain amount of time. So I'm really not upset, because once you start getting crazy with the numbers, that's when you start seeing QC issues. And with something with rooted hair that needs to be treated more delicately, I really don't have an issue with how limited it is. It is surprising, though, again, that they chose to do such limited versions of such popular characters. You know what I mean? Because it's the Joker and the Anakin and Anakin. So, you know, a lot of people are going to want these. Not everybody is going to be able to get them. A lot of people are going to be disappointed. At least with both of them, really, you have other options, guys. If you take an L on this one, you're going to be able to get a good deal right now for the light side Anakin sculpt. It's still a fantastic figure. I have it in my collection. Love the figure. So if you guys aren't able to get this one, don't be too upset, because the other light side Anakin that came out previously is still a fantastic figure. So Mike said, did I just get... I'm not sure, Mike. Did you get censored? I'm not sure.
He said about how this rooted Anakin would look strange next to your sculpted figures, and I agreed.
Yeah, and I've said that before too. Like when you have a collection full of sculpted figures and then you have rooted figures next to them, it certainly could look a little weird. I'm going to try to kind of display my figures around that and kind of create like my own corner with this special Anakin. But I certainly agree with that point. I'm good on that, Chris. I don't miss them at all. Yeah, if you're in the detail. But yeah, certainly. Not Eric. No, Eric, not a 2.0 sculpted Anakin. I'm just saying and if I said 2.0,
2.0 sculpted dark.
Or maybe Eric's saying I'm waiting for 2.0.
The big problem with this figure is the fact that if it gets putty like that one backstage looking picture thing that Sideshow put up, it's going to be still looking less Anakin, Hot Toys Anakin, and more the chosen one, third party.
Lane, I think Sideshow really just didn't put enough care into it. You know.
I know. I'm just saying. When I first saw this, I couldn't get that third party figure out of my head.
I mean, you know, Lane, with these, we see photos of these guys at the event. No, it definitely wasn't. But I know I get Lane's point. But we see photos of these both from InArt and Hot Toys recently. We saw photos of them setting up these rooted hair figures at the events, and they're sitting there with tweezers and a little bottle of spritz or something, futzing with the hair, posing it, making sure it looks good.
Which
and
is more
it was clear that Sideshow did not do that.
Yeah, but which is more than 90% of the time most collectors are going to do. Yeah. With stuff like that. My thing with this, like you guys were talking about paying scalper prices or other stuff, isn't even with like the hair so much, is with that suit better be like, should be leather. I hope it's leather instead of pleather. If it's going to be like, 400 and
it should be, but I don't think there's been any mention of it. That's
the thing, because it's like that's why I was making the joke earlier. I'll just use the head sculpt I have and buy for $279 the Attack of the Clones, because it's literally the same outfit.
No, it's not.
It's similar. It's very similar. It's not exactly the same, but it's very similar.
But just, I mean, I'm more concerned with having pleather on this, more expensive figure rather than. The Joker, I don't know, because we can't compare it to the old Jokers that Hot Toys have done, because those were like 10 years ago.
Yeah, the DX11 is very, very outdated at this point.
Yeah. So, and I guess you compare it to the InArt, but I wouldn't want to compare a prototype for Hot Toys until it's like a year and a half away. till whichever Joker you're going to get, because it is for the Joker. It's not just comparing one; it's comparing two. You got to compare with the hair, with the actual
the rooted
hair,
and the sculpted version,
and you have to compare the sculpted, because everybody gets so focused sometimes on the rooted hair stuff and everything. Let's not forget there are two versions of the same guy from different makers. You have to compare both of them, not just one of them, both of them, because there could be, if there's severe quality, because more people are going to buy the sculpted than the rooted. So if you see big differences between them, then that could be an L. That's still as much as an L, one way or the other for both.
Right. So Lane, is this one that you're interested in picking up, or is this a pass for you because of the pricing and everything?
I'm honestly, I'm not really that interested in this one. To me, the rooted hair, just like I said, I have the chosen one in my head. I can't get it out of my head. When I look at the rooted hair on Anakin, that thing destroyed my perception of this figure with rooted hair. I'm going to be trying to get it, because I'm going to be trying to get it for a couple people have requested that I try and, see if I can get it, because this is not going to be like the Spider-Mans. Like this and the Joker, they're going to be this is going to be, I think, more
very difficult.
This is going to be more, if you can get it, if you have any interest. But if you're not really interested, don't try and go on and get it. I would hope for secondary market stuff or something. I know people are, but let other people who are going to want it. If you're not committed, know you want it. But this is going to be twice as hard. I mean, Miles and Advanced Suit Spider-Man, and they have not said, and any of you guys know a comment, they have not said specifically, have they yet, for the Anakin or the Joker, how many of that worldwide allotment are going to be free. I'm guessing closer to when.
They have not said how much Sideshow is going to get at all like that. So, and thank you, by the way, guys. There have been links dropped in the chat by our great moderators of both the Joker and the Anakin RSVP. Again, there's no information, now that Lane's bringing it up, just to reiterate, there's no information on when they're going up, the quantity, or how you'll be able to get them. So whether it's a raffle, lottery, whatever, or if you just go through the queue system, they haven't said that yet. So keep that in mind. There's no information, but of course, guys, if you're in the Facebook group, we will update you once we get that information. So again, I highly recommend joining the Facebook group, because that stuff gets posted there very fast. So, but yeah, Lane, I hope you're able to get it, or anyone that you're trying to get it for, I hope you're able to get it for them. We'll get more of your thoughts, of course, when we move into the Joker. Our two heavy topics where I want to kind of open a discussion with everybody are the Joker and the Anakin, because they're being talked about so much. But Lane, thank you so much for your thoughts on Anakin. Lane, I hope this one final product does not turn out like the chosen
like I said,
one.
My more,
and I know Chris was dying inside when you were saying that. I could see it in his eyes.
Well, my concern is the body and the suit. Yeah, my concern is the body and the suit more, just because of, like you guys said. Now, is this, or Ryan, do you know, or any guys, is this part of the same quote line, the Artisan line, as the Joker? I don't remember it seeing labeled as much.
Yeah, this and the Joker are the Artisan line, which I'm a little upset about. Is I got the Wonder Woman, and this is like the Wonder Woman is part of it, so that was almost like, the Wonder Woman's kind of like the Mark I version of this, this rooted, and then the official Artisan line seems to be unless they update the packaging. I think the Artisan line starts with the Joker and Anakin, and the Wonder Woman is kind of
Wonder Woman isn't a DX. I think that'd be the justification.
She's just a one-off. She's like that part of that WB 100 thing, isn't she? Like a special one-off. Yeah.
Yeah. So Anakin is a DX32 AE. That's his product code.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Joker will be like DX33, and then you'll have DX33 AE as well.
Right.
Which I wonder if they're going to continue with regular DXs too going forward.
I think they will, Ryan. I think they'll do a DX and a DX Artisan. I do foresee them doing that. And by the way, shout out to Big Dog Pound Chris. I mean, you got to give him one woo at least. By the way, what's up, Big Dog Pound? I hope you're doing well. And also everybody who's joining us, 12-inch Moose Stream, congratulations on your Jazz Ink Snow Spear. I saw your photos. That thing is gargantuan. It looks awesome. FBJ, Summers fam, everybody who's been popping in, thank you so much for being here. But Big Dog Pound Chris, I think we got to give him the big intro now that he's here. I know it was a little on the lighter side for
Woo!
There you
What's
go.
going on, Big Dog Pound? Good to see you in here, legend.
Dude, he's always got it on him, Big Dog Pound. We were waiting for you, dude. But thank you so much for being here, everybody, as always. And once again, if you haven't already, drop a like on the stream and consider subscribing to the channel. But finally, guys, before we move on to our next topic, Sean, I would love to hear your thoughts on Anakin, dude. And also, is there a limit for you and how much you'd be willing to spend? Or are you going crazy like Ryan over here and saying the sky is the limit on
Yo,
this?
daddy chill.
I had to. And Owen too. Owen's going crazy too. I was telling him backstage, like,
I didn't say a number. I just said I was open to something. Owen threw a number out. I didn't throw a number out.
Dude, you basically said the sky is the limit. I'm thinking Owen's the crazy.
My wife
guy.
better not be watching the stream right now. I think she's working. So
yeah, Ryan, I know you said you'd only spend $400 on it.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
now stop watching. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, what are your thoughts on this Anakin, man? And what are you willing to spend on this?
There's no way I'll spend $1,000. Absolutely no way for that. Not for a one figure. I appreciate the thing and everything else. You know, creating the Artisan Edition, the AE line is actually really cool from Hot Toys. You know, with the wool hair and everything. You know, going through, waiting. I've already reached out for someone to try and get it because I don't trust Sideshow with their little, how they do everything for these exclusive figures. I think what they should do is just randomize and send out an email instead of letting their system get destroyed. Send one email and then that individual goes through and gets a confirmation code and then goes in and uses that code. Is how Sideshow needs to fix the problem. That way, not everyone's trying to get online and pre-order something. Just use that code, and that's the only way you can find the item.
They'd need to have it phone number locked. I think that'd probably be a good shout.
Yeah,
you can't have 80 accounts or whatever.
Right, I mentioned that earlier, Owen. Like the guy said, he made 80 accounts, and I'm like, that kind of ruins the lottery thing for me. Because then I'm like,
Well, see, and I don't see how they could do that when I've already been contacted by Sideshow once because I have an account, my daughter has an account, my daughter lives with me, and they've been questioned it in the past, and those are the only
if
two.
you use a VPN and you have a good VPN and you're using accounts with different names and different addresses and stuff, it's very easy to circumvent their system. It really is. It's unfortunate to say, but it's a lot of people do it.
80 is crazy though.
If I got Sideshow and I get it through another party overseas, that's great.
Right.
But you know, even if I got two and I decide to sell the second one, I'm not going to scalp anyone. I'll just sell it for what I bought it for. And that's it.
You're nicer than me, Sean.
Take dibs on that one.
But this whole entire thing and everything, I'm not going to get into the whole what's going on in the community between InArt versus Hot Toys thing. Overall, I think it's a great figure. It should be leather for the vest. And even in this picture here, you can tell it's not. That's pleather.
Yeah, it appears to be the same material to me. Even the boots as well. It's
too thin. It's too thin to be leather.
Could they?
Leather doesn't have that much of a sheen to it. Usually, it's usually more of a matte.
But I'm excited to see when this actually comes out. But it's not coming out forever. Not until next year.
Yeah, we're in 2024 on this one, so it's going to be a minute. And you know, and that was the other surprising thing to me. Such a limited figure. I thought maybe it would have a smaller release window, but it seems like Hot Toys really wants to take their time on these, which I don't have an issue with. You know, and for someone like me, I already have Anakin in my collection. I want it, but I don't need it right now. You know what I mean? And a lot of us, are blessed enough to have at least one Anakin, whether it's the Clone Wars or any of the Revenge of the Sith one. So, you know, it's not a need to have it right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, does the cape
show
the thing
the hood? Get it? It's kind of like what Mr. Mom said before. You know, if they don't allow payment plans, you just pay the money into a gift card and then pay it down, because a lot of people are concerned about having to fork it out when the whole entire amount, not knowing what the price is.
Right.
Because right now, I've said for the longest time.
Yeah, who was that talking?
I don't know. The Little Mermaid.
Yeah, okay. Anyway.
But speculation between $450, $515 for this just on Sideshow. And I'm not even like stressing about what the cost is going to be. I'm more stressed on one, I'm not really stressed about a figure, but if I was to say I'm stressed, it would be more of how Sideshow is going to screw this up. And that's the thing is I'm an advocate and I love Sideshow and I always stick up for them. But how they do these programs have sucked ass completely. And so if they want to really pull together and do something good for the community with whoever this new CEO is that they have there that's making these decisions, hopefully he's like, no, this hasn't worked. We've just pissed people off. We need to do a better way. And that's really it.
Yeah.
But overall, I think a lot of people are going to be seriously butthurt over this. And I don't really be because this is a truly like desired figure. And other than that, I don't understand why Hot Toys didn't come out with the sculpted version of this, just like what they did with the Joker, where you have the rooted and the sculpted version. Everybody would be happy with the sculpted version. I'd rather order the sculpted version than with the rooted wool hair version.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. But I don't have the option for this with a sculpted version right now. So I have to try and get the wool one.
Yeah.
And that's my thoughts.
Well, thank you for sharing your thoughts. Great thoughts, Sean. And I'm glad that not all of us on the panel are willing to go balls to the wall, because we got to set an example somewhere, right, guys? I mean, what Owens is doing, that's my inner fan. That's what I would do. But then I got to be like, dude, you buy too many figures. You can't spend $1,000 on this Anakin. As much as I don't want to. As much as I want the figure, I got to cut myself off somewhere. But Ekwan says the queue system was pretty easy. If you're on time, you would get the figure. I had a very easy time. I'm glad you were able to get in, dude, because a lot of people, I was talking to a lot of different people who resell figures and such, and they were saying like it was rough. And you got to remember too, for us in the US, hitting up these resellers like Jeremy from Plastic Hero, we're all hitting them up saying like, hey, can we get these? Are you going to be able to get these? Blah, blah, blah. They're focused on getting figures for as many people as possible. And that's when it gets really stressful. It's been very difficult for a lot of people who resell figures. So Owen has no limits. That's at least with this one. Owen looks for deals. He looks for deals, but with this one now. But thank you, Sean, for your thoughts. We're going to move on, just looking through these photos, guys, because there's a lot of great stuff. Now, I don't know about y'all, but there's a lot of good stuff in this photo here. Two figures in particular that, we've been drooling at the mouth, foaming at the mouth. Where the heck are my John Wick figures? Well, here they are. And I got to say, guys, Kane and John Wick both look fantastic. Being an original owner of the first John Wick figure, I can easily say that this sculpt blows that one out of the water. It's fantastic. I love the hair. I know the hair is not going to be for everybody because it's kind of crazy all over the place, but I love it. And these are definitely very, not the Fortnite version, Hedgehog, not the Fortnite version, unfortunately. Maybe eventually get your Fortnite version, dude. But seeing these John Wick figures finally come to fruition makes me really happy. I think they look fantastic. John is missing the finger. I know it was kind of hard to see on the actual figure itself, but there is a photo with all of the accessories laid out. He is missing the finger on the hand. So overall, guys, I think they look great. The likeness to Keanu is fantastic. The likeness to Kane, Donnie Yen, is also fantastic. We haven't seen him without the glasses on, so obviously that's a big part of the likeness as well. So I'm interested to see.
Well, they had a starting point already, thanks to Churi from years ago.
Right, and that's the other thing, Lane. We did kind of see a pretty fantastic sculpt with Churrit, so I'm not too worried at all about these two. I think they're great. They're a must-have for me. Also, out of nowhere, guys, we got the Flash clone here. I know Ryan and I are probably the only two people on the planet that were excited for this when we first saw it, but I think it's really cool. I think it's cool that they show the little bust with the head sculpt on it, just kind of a proof of concept of showing off the head sculpt. I think he looks great. I would much rather have this one than the Dark Flash. The Dark Flash looked pretty dang bad. So I'm glad that one isn't showing up at this event, because this looks pretty good to me. And this is obviously the one that has kind of that retooled Batsuit, repainted, kind of made it its own. And I think it's a really cool figure. I hope it ends up coming to fruition.
Do you think we are going to see that one? I don't. I think after
I do see that one happening. I really do, because they're kind of going out of their way to kind of show everything here. They've got a lit up base. We've got the head sculpt, the full. I do see this one coming to fruition, and I would say I see that one probably closing out the Flash line. I think that'll be it. I don't think that Dark Flash is going to happen.
How many times have we said that though? Like when they've gone all out on something, like they made, edit videos of the N1. Now, granted, this is a figure, but they've gone all out on a lot of stuff and displays and armories and what have you, and some stuff just still hasn't been made.
I mean, certainly, Chris, it could go either way. For me, it's just one that I have a feeling about. I think they are going to do it, and I think that'll probably close out the line. But yeah, certainly anything could happen. Obviously, at this point, it looks like that armory is probably not going to happen, and we kind of had that thought. It kind of looked like one of those things that may have been a kind of a show-off piece just to celebrate the film. But I could certainly see that one happening. But if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be super disappointed. I'm glad that we at least got the Keaton Batman and the Flash figure and Supergirl as well, even though obviously she's not here because hopefully she's taking a trip to the sculpting department for a redo. But I think that's probably, and I know a lot of people had that question, like, where's the Supergirl? I think they're probably redoing that sculpt. That's probably why she's not here. But
they got a lot of media attention.
Yeah, a lot, dude. Even like IGN. Yeah.
But also with the Batman stuff that you mentioned too, there's so much time between any other films being made. I think the next two things are Blue Beetle and
Aquaman.
Aquaman 2 are the next two movies coming out, and then that's it for a couple years.
Yeah, until 2025 at the early, not including the writer striker stuff, delay and stuff. So
right, that's a good point, Lane. And I mean, I think there's time for them to get the other stuff out for the Flash movie also. I mean, because they don't want to overboard us with all the stuff for just one movie. So if they spread it out, which would be a good business plan, I think we could see the entire thing. And with now the new pictures that came out too, where we see Ben Affleck wearing the bat suit, but his bat suit's actually black and silver, I could see them making that too as like a special edition as well.
That could be a good point. Why we could see this guy, to support your position, Connor, is because with the writer strike and the strike for the actors now, whenever it's resolved, everything's gonna be delayed a while. So that, because the prototype's already finished, if Sideshow or Hot Toys is seeing a gap in their schedule, kind of for having product available, that figure might now it might be a few months from now or something, but they have that figure where it could fill a slot basically, so that may help it come out despite the movie crashing and burning. So that could be a positive for it actually coming out.
And I think the Flash figures have been selling decently well, based on what we've seen on Sideshow. But yeah, I mean, it's certainly possible. And Sean, and you could be right. Maybe they'll fill in those gaps. What I personally hope for is them filling in the gaps with those WB 100 figures. I'm hoping to see like a new Scarecrow, some other stuff pulled out of the vault and kind of redone. Maybe another Jim Gord. It would really be cool to see them fill in some more gaps that they've been doing a really good job of with the Dark Knight trilogy.
Ra's al Ghul finally.
Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot they could pull out. And kind of do for that WB 100 amongst many other WB films they could also fill in with that WB 100 line. So I'm hoping to see more. Unfortunately, I feel like the D100 line is kind of dead in the water, but also,
I thought Joker was going to be under that.
Yeah, I did too. I expected that too. And, maybe that Nicholson Joker that we've been talking about for a while, maybe that'll be the D100 Joker that they kind of bust
and Reeves.
out, which I could love. And Christopher Reeve. Yeah, I could see them doing that as well. So I really hope to see, especially with, in the Flash, we did see Christopher Reeve Superman in the Flash.
That would be a perfect Artisan next one to do in the series. Is
easy hair for them to do because he's got shorter hair. I mean, you just got to nail that curl.
That would make, for this Artisan series, doesn't that almost feel like if you're going to do an older figure or an older
absolutely.
movie or something,
I
that
say
feels like it
game.
would be a natural one to do because you've done it before. Obviously, years to make new for better, but that feels like it would be something special where you're going to charge $400 to $500 for a non-Iron Man, non-diecast figure.
Yeah,
and people would probably pay for it, or at least a limited number.
I think that figure would sell very well. There's a lot of Christopher Reeve fans out there, and I think a lot of people missed their opportunity. Now, is it a for sure bet? Nothing is, but I could see it, and I would hope that they would visit stuff like that. I mean, even like
I mean Nicholson Joker.
Oh, Nicholson Joker. Yeah, I mean, I think Nicholson Joker is still very possible. I would love to see it because we got the Keaton 2.0 '89 Batman. So why not bust out a Nicholson Joker? And we saw it removed. I mean, it's been removed from Secret Base for a long time, but why not fill that space in with another one? Also, and Sean said, I'll check out your picture in a second, Sean. Also, guys, I know everybody's talking about Star Wars. Unfortunately, it hasn't been a lot about Return of the Jedi 40th, but I still have faith that eventually Hot Toys will surprise us with a little bit more from that somewhere over the rainbow. But right now, we have some Mando stuff. Now, I will say, for me, I think the most exciting figure here, and I think for most people, is going to be this Gideon Mandalorian clone here. I think he looks awesome. I thought he looked badass in the show. In figure form, he looks just as good as I expected. And not only that, we get to see the Generation 1 Praetorian Guards, which is really dope. Yeah. I got to be honest with you guys, and they're kind of joking on me in the Discord about it. I used to really want the Skittles Mandos, as I like to call them. I've kind of grown to lose interest in them a little bit, just because it's like we got no Return of the Jedi 40th stuff, and I'm like, really? This is what you're giving us? I love the bases. I love the Mandalorian sigil and the banners and stuff. I think they look really cool, but those really don't excite me as much as I thought they would 6 months ago when we were talking about this. But the armor is very interesting, and Matt was making a joke in the chat. He was saying Sideshow saying please no for the armor, because that exclusive has been sitting forever on Sideshow. But this is certainly a new version, right, guys? She's got a new metallic sheen to her armor. She's obviously got a jetpack because she's in a flying pose there. So this is a completely new armor. I'm not completely opposed to it. It's just one that, another thing, no one really would have cared to get that for the most part. Most people have been like, I'm happy. And I'm very happy with my version 1 armor. I hate the body because it's single jointed arms, but at the same time,
it looks like it's going to be that again. They're exactly 90.
Yeah, a lot of people were speculating, is it going to have single jointed arms? I think it will. And I would agree with you, Owen. I think in this photo, we can kind of see that there as well. It's a shame because it is kind of like the deluxe Mando, where the armor looks much better. It looks more like metal, and it's an overall upgrade over the original one. I was never unhappy with my original one, apart from the crappy body, but I don't know. I don't know if I needed this one.
I think this is, for at least Star Wars from this setup, it's all about bring on the bad guys, man. That's what this is about, is bring on the bad guys. Because I know all I can see, I don't even see Moff Gideon. I just see those Praetorian Guards. I see that blood red right there, or royal red, and that's all.
I know you want those Praetorian Guards laying after you sold your one. I know you want them.
Well, the sad thing is, I might buy 2 of those guys, and I have to go track down one of the older Last Jedi, so they could be Praetorian Commander or something. You know how we fall into. Well, Sean can understand where you fall into when you build up any sort of troopers or anything like that. You start going to got to have a commander guy that looks different. Got to have a captain or something in there, and then that's how you fall into the trap.
Do you get 3 of those or the rooted Anakin though?
How about that?
That's true. I mean, those Praetorian Guards, I would imagine, would probably be $265 each.
So maybe 4, even if you went up to 1,000 for a rooted Anakin.
Which one? If you go to Owen's price. I want to read a couple comments though, guys, and we'll continue our discussion. Boba Fettuccini says, "I'm all in on Mando stuff except the armor." Yeah, and again, it's I think most people, apart from the crappy body, we were pretty happy. The armor looked pretty good. I actually like the fur on her as well. So I didn't need another armor. She does look good, though. I will say the upgrades are nice. I like the jetpack idea. I think she looks good. Just not one that I needed. Ian still needs a Mando. Well, you have plenty of options, and I think there's a lot of great deals out there right now as well.
Yeah, there's a good deal on the deluxe one, the Mando and Child Deluxe.
The original deluxe, yeah.
Yeah. That's like
and that's a great set.
Yeah, and I can pull it up. I think it was like $256 on Sideshow.
That's very good. I mean, for that price, shoot. Peyton says Robo Gideon looks dope. I agree. I mean, again, for me, I said this from the get-go. The one that I wanted the most from this season of Mando was the Robo Gideon here, and I think he looks awesome. I really hope that they do a head sculpt. However, I don't need a head sculpt because I've got the first Moff Gideon with his head sculpt. I'm perfectly fine having this one with the helmet on. But a head sculpt would just kind of be the icing on the cake there. TK is trying to erase season 3 from his mind. Okay, I think a lot of people would agree with you there. Eric says, I will take a 2.0 armor, no screws. Hey, wait, don't jump the gun, Eric. I mean, if we got the single jointed arms, you never know. We might have the screws in those boots again. Eric also says, no limited exclusive on an 89 Joker or Christopher Reeve. Let us buy them, limit 1 per customer. You know, that would be a best case scenario, but I truly believe, guys, that this DX Artisan line is probably going to be like this for the foreseeable future. You know, we all were crying. We want more limited stuff. Nothing's worth money anymore, blah, blah, blah. Hottoys is like, cool. I see you guys buying the InArt stuff. Buy our stuff that's limited, you know, so it's not surprising at all for me. No. Paul says day 1 pre-order of Mr. Wick. Me too, dude. I've been waiting for that one forever, so that's definitely a really special one that I would love to get sooner than later. But yeah, that's going to be a day 1 for me as well. But my other thing I wanted to talk about here, guys, and we can kind of see it out of the corner right here, is that Sand Trooper that we've all been begging for. I know Sideshow did a do-back long ago, and it's worth a ton of money. So to see Hot Toys put this on display, I'm really hoping that they don't tease us with it. Obviously, it's tough because it's a really big piece. There's no guarantees for big pieces like this. But if the blurred can happen, certainly the do-back can happen. I really hope it comes to fruition. I have my Sand Trooper from A New Hope waiting for this set. I do think that figure is probably going to shoot up in value if this ever comes out because people are going to want to have them together. So if you're looking at securing that one, I would get it sooner than later. And the off chance that this does get announced, because it's definitely a really cool set. And I don't know if there's another photo here. Maybe I'm sure there's going to be another shot in some of the photos I have of it, but here's a kind of a front on shot too of those Praetorians. Dude, I think they look awesome. I love this Generation 1 design. I have one of the sequel trilogy Praetorian guards in my collection. I think he looks awesome. And thank you so much, OG, dropping a RSVP link for the Sand Trooper and Dupack on Sideshow. Definitely RSVP in the off chance, again, guys, that they announce it. I would love to see it. And there's a shot of that Robo getting there looking extra awesome. Love the proportions, love the armor. And obviously this like Maul DeLorean style helmet is just super cool. So definitely really excited for that. Again, guys, the Skittles Mandos have kind of lost my excitement for that. And those were really getting trashed online. So yeah, Matt says no one was talking about them. What'd you say, Chris?
I mean, yeah, no one's talking now, but when the show was coming, like people said they wouldn't mind. I know Sean mentioned it on a stream once. Like there was a bunch of people who actually said that they would grab them. So Hot Toast is like, all right, here you go. And now everybody's like, yeah, forget them.
Yeah. I mean,
but out of the whole thing for me is probably John Wick and that Sand Trooper is what excites me in that group right there.
Yeah. And I think for most people, Chris, especially we all have a hopeful longing for more original trilogy Star Wars figures. I think a lot of people are really excited about that do-back. So hope it ends up happening. Obviously, there's no guarantees, but that's one that's definitely on my list if it ends up happening for sure. And there we go. There's a better shot of that do-back. Absolutely gorgeous. It looks even better than the Blurg, and the Blurg looks really good. Love that kind of fur up there on the top, the detail. I mean, it looks real. Lane and I were talking about this when we first saw it. It looks real, man. It looks pretty fantastic. And
see, what sucks about it is like it looks like it might be a power pose, but just like the lizard base, like that looks really good. I've seen reviews and that's pretty detailed, just like this, so they can do it. However, they just keep putting like seam lines in it, even though it doesn't articulate like in different spots, as if it's supposed to, but it doesn't. Now,
Yeah,
I don't
I
know what
mean-
the case is with this, but I know they did it for the lizard base.
The blurg is posable. It's very limited in its posability, but it is posable. Again, for this one, I have no complaints. I think it's gorgeous. I think it looks really good. Joe P says Mando Magic is long gone for me. I need that back in Trooper though. More OT. And I agree, dude. Like, again, this one's really exciting. And by the way, guys, Ryan just sent us some photos. We're going to take a look at them later, but looks like we got some more photos from the InArt stuff, and that it was really exciting to see.
So Connor, if you had to blow your wad on this or getting that Anakin, you could.
You know my
only get one
answer,
of them.
Lane. You know my answer. You know,
You're gonna
Anakin's
say
going to come
Anakin.
first, but
Then you're crazy.
I'll make it work for both because I'm crazy. You know, I'm crazy.
Well, no, I was going to say you're crazy to choose that Anakin over getting this.
I know I am lame, but again, Anakin has my heart. I will say though, and I don't know how many people are excited about this Anzellan. I think this thing's adorable. I love the size of it. It's not too big, not too small. And this is 1-to-1 scale, this little Anzellan here. And I think it looks really cool. I don't know if they're ever going to actually announce it, but I would definitely pick it up if they did. I'd love 1-to-1 scale little creatures like that. I have the Sideshow Grogu in my collection. This guy would make it to my collection for sure, price pending. Joe, we are going to take a look at the MJ, the Superman, Paul Atreides. The photos got everything. So thank you so much for that, Ryan. And also, guys, another thing that's absolutely adorable, and I really love this, is the Grogu in the pram. And it looks like he's kind of like in a fixed position in the pram. So I don't know if he's going to be as posable. I would like to see more photos of it, but I think it looks great. I think the pram looks awesome. And can you guys imagine having a 1-to-1 scale Grogu in the pram in your collection room? That just kind of draws a lot of people's attention. So I'm very hopeful that they end up doing something with this because I have the Sideshow one that's a non-posable statue and it looks absolutely gorgeous. But I would love to see this Grogu come to fruition because I think it looks great.
I've heard of people already like spreading around. They'd put their newborn in it and take like a photo shoot.
Yeah,
which I would do. I'm all in for that for photography.
Yeah, I mean it's stuff like that makes them for, and even like the Anzellan, dude, I could see people doing some really funny, great photos and stuff with it. There's another shot of them together. I don't know why these little guys are in here. I don't think anybody cares about those.
And Anzellan looks about the same height as Baby Groot.
Yeah, very similar in height. Now this one, guys, Owen kind of gave me the stank face backstage when I told him I like this. I love this figure. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I know this is not gonna be for everybody. Some people probably saw this and were like, next. I think this is awesome. I think this is what they should have done from the get-go for this Origins collection. I know Sean has the original Origins Iron Man and his comic Origins Iron Man in his collection. I ended up passing on. I really just couldn't get past those clear pieces. This doesn't have the clear pieces. It has the OG comic colors. A lot of people ask, is this die cast? This is die cast. And I love the head sculpt too. I normally don't like these kind of comic inspired cartoony head sculpts. I think he looks awesome, guys. And there's some more photos, which I'll show you a bit later. I don't know if it's in this line of photos where he's got one of the repulsor effects. And to me, it's just mint. And Owen, share your thoughts on this one, because you made a comment backstage about what you didn't like about it. And I think it was a valid comment for sure, because it does kind of affect the look of it a little bit for some people.
I think if they just added some metallic finish into it, it would make it look a bit higher end. I think it just looks like fairly cheap right now.
Yeah, that's fair. Again, it's not going to be for everybody, and I could see this definitely being a bargain bin figure for sure. But I do think I'll end up picking this one up. Mike says he needs the do-back. Mike, I think we all need the do-back in our collection. I think it looks awesome. And thank you once again, OG, dropping the links again, guys, to RSVP through Sideshow. Matt agrees with you, Owen. He says the flat coloring makes it look like Hasbro. Again, it's not going to be for everybody, but I will say, guys, it was great to see mostly positive comments about this one, because, again, everybody demanded no clear pieces, OG comic look, and to see Hot Toys listen and go back to the drawing board is cool. I do feel bad for all those that did buy the original one, that this is what they want originally. I asked Sean about it, and Sean, you kind of said, like, no, I'm not mad. I love my comic Origins one that I have. But Sean, I'm curious if this is one you're going to end up picking up. I'm guessing it is, because this is more in line with what everybody wanted originally when it came to a comic-inspired Iron Man here.
Yeah, I am, if it comes out and it's not something where I have to chase, I'll definitely get it.
Yeah.
Because when I first saw this, it reminded me when I was a kid, and the first comic book like I had ever actually paid with my own money for was an Iron Man, and it just kind of reminded me of that whole entire moment when that like happened.
Yeah.
So,
and how gorgeous is this repulsor effect, Sean? It literally looks like it's out of the comics. Like when I saw this photo today, I'm like, that's gorgeous. I love it. I think it looks great. I really do. And he's got these like little, I guess these are like the thrusters here under his feet. Let me zoom in so you can kind of see it real quick before we move on to the next photo. He's got like these thrusters under his feet, which I just noticed when I was going through these photos before the stream. But I think he looks awesome. And again, I see what Owen's saying. It's not going to be for everybody, but definitely really cool in my opinion. I don't know how many people, guys in the chat, I don't know if you guys are going to pick this one up. It seems like probably not. Ian says the head to me takes it up a few notches. Can we please get a Comic Hawk? Hopefully they go more into this comic line, especially for those that are big comic readers. I mean, again, I think this one's really cool. I dig it. This one is kind of bizarre to me. I think this is from What If, right? Isn't this the Hulk?
Yeah, it's from What If? It's when Tony Stark goes to the planet where Hulk landed.
Yeah, out of all of these figures, this is the most no thank you out of all of them. Not a fan of this design. Those who collect the What If line, I'm sure you guys are pumped, so I'm happy for you guys. This one for me, I'm like, nah, this ain't
Walmart Iron Man.
Yeah, I'm good on this one.
If you're looking for the weirdest design you might have seen.
Yeah, it's weird, dude.
Like, that's the one, man.
Look at everybody in the chat. No spank you. Ew. The horror. Yeah, I mean, I think what a lot of people saw this, it was kind of in the background of those original teaser photos. Everybody was like, what the hell is that?
Looks like one of them old Transformers.
It does. It does.
This looks like a box of crayons that like all melted and just somehow accidentally formed in.
He's got Wolverine claws.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a box of crayons that melted and just somehow happened to come into a form that sort of vaguely looked like a robot. Just chance.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Mike says it's a good looking figure. I'd like to see more characters done like this, talking about the comic Iron Man. I love the nameplate lettering. Yeah, I think it looks great, dude. Like I said, I'm definitely a fan. And I think it's definitely an improvement. So this one is interesting, guys. You guys know I love the Mark 7, right? I'm a big fan of the Mark 7. And Owen and I kind of talked about this briefly as well. I do think the head sculpt looks better here. There is something off about this head sculpt. I don't think it's terrible, but it's not great. And I think we've kind of been spoiled with a lot of pretty decent Tony Stark sculpts. So there's a lot of competition. Like the new Mark III head sculpt is pretty damn good. There's a lot of great Tony and the Mark VI sculpts. There's a lot of great sculpts. So there's a lot of competition here. I am very interested in getting this just because of the Tony Stark that's in the suit up armor. I don't know if I would necessarily pose him in the suit up armor, but just to have him pose with that Endgame Loki giving him a speech about, hey, we have a Hulk. There's no version of this where you come out on top. Like, that's why I have to have this Iron Man. So I think this is one I'm definitely interested in. And Boba, I kind of have the same feeling about this one. I think and I told Owen this, I think the forehead's a bit too tall as well.
And it looks like he's fallen, like in that scene, like his hair's pushed back or something.
Right, and that's why I kind of understand the open mouth, Chris. That was my first initial reaction to it. I'm like, why does he have an open mouth? And I'm like, oh, I get it. They're kind of trying to pose him like he's getting the armor. Because, guys, he was falling from the Avengers Tower, and then that's how he suited up into the Mark 7.
That's how they want you to pose it.
Right, so it makes sense that he has the open mouth. That doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, but the hairline's wrong.
Yeah, and he looks like a mouth breather.
Again, the forehead's definitely too tall for sure. I would agree with that. This is not their strongest Tony Stark sculpt, but I don't think it's terrible. It's just not great.
Well, if you look at all the, like Tony Starks that you have, and you look at that, this is off.
Yeah, it's definitely off. No, for sure. Again, Sean, like I said, we've been spoiled with pretty good Tony Stark sculpts across the board. So I think this one has a lot to compete with, and I don't think it stands with the best of them personally. And yeah, Mike's right. This sculpt does work best in a falling position. And Chris kind of commented on it as well. I think this is definitely, they want you to pose it in this way. And they even showed all the different posing options in the advertisement for the figure. So definitely makes a lot of sense. Not like too upset about the open mouth, but again, something's off about it to me. CSI says his face is inaccurate. He had a face of fear, not anger, when he was falling in that scene. That's why it's odd to me. Yeah, and I would agree, CSI. It's definitely a little bit off for sure. But it's the Mark 7, and again, this outfit definitely means something to me. So I'm definitely considering picking this one up. It's not a must-have, but it's definitely in the consideration category.
Dave did make a good point on that one, though. understand how they want you to pose it in your display. Because if you have it look like he's falling, he's going to be flat, right? And you're not going to be able to see him. And then if you have him stood up straight, it's going to look weird because he's got a falling expression.
He's like kind of falling back.
So I don't know. I don't know what their plan is.
Yeah.
A glass shelf above you is perfect, or you wire it to the ceiling is perfect, I guess.
No, that would be best case scenario, have him hanging from the ceiling. This one, guys, kind of confused me. I'm like, this kind of came out of nowhere. It's funny because the hair is what we were hoping for on the original Endgame Loki. I hope with this one that they maybe give us an option to buy the throne by itself. I will say, though, out of all of these, this is one of them. I'm like, I don't think they're going to do this one. I think this is just like
they just took
It's
the
a
head
show.
Yeah, I think it's a showpiece. Yeah, for sure.
It looks like they just took the head sculpt off President Loki.
Yeah,
it does.
I think this is kind of a show-off piece. They're like, oh, this is an easy one. This is a cool idea. I love the throne, but I don't know. This isn't needed. The Endgame Loki is great. Obviously, we all have issues with the hair on the head sculpt, but definitely not one that I think any of us are hoping to happen over a lot of the other ones. So,
but with the Mark 7, they're kind of going into that Avengers 2012 again.
Yeah,
so
and that's what I was talking to my buddy about that. I'm like, it is cool to see them doing some more 2012 Avengers stuff. Like, what if they went back and redid all of those really bad
Hulk?
Yeah, Hulk.
Speak it into
the really bad Hawkeye with the sunglasses that feels very aged at this point. So I mean, I'm all for.
Give me a better Black Widow.
2012. Yeah, the Black Widow, because Black
I would
Widow,
take an Iron Man 2 Black Widow.
Yeah,
if I had to choose.
Wolf Moon says head sculpt looks similar to President Logan. Absolutely, very similar. Guys, I mean, I'm gonna give Hot Toys a clap for this one. I know a lot of people are still iffy about it. I think it looks much better, regardless of what you think. I think it looks much better. I know some people were like,
Ryan's got strong feelings.
I know with this one, some people are like, I would have preferred the visible
yeah,
joints.
I'm just biding my time and letting Connor talk. I'm just
Ryan.
This is what they should have done from the get-go.
They should have done it from the get-go. I think they did the original one with the intention of, hey, this one's going to be very posable. These colors are really bright. It's going to be much easier to do in plastic. But me personally, I pre-ordered this once they announced that they were redoing it because I love the design. I think he looks awesome. Yes, it's not perfect. It's a little bunchy in certain areas, but guys, this is leaps and bounds better, in my opinion, than the original. That's just my personal opinion. I know some people are saying he looks like he has a onesie, but
could you pull up the picture of the sculpted one?
The original one?
Hot Toys,
yeah. Maybe at a column. That one, and then it's a bit more of a fairer comparison.
I don't like this Hot Toys. I think they should have definitely made it plastic and had like the joints visible and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
that would have been a lot better.
I looked at the colors.
Photos on hand. That's the thing, Owen. I do think they did the plastic because of the colors. Obviously,
the colors look incredible on the original.
They did get dulled down a little bit, and I'll pull this back up. I'll pull this photo up real quick, and then I'll pull this back up, so you guys can see. For those who aren't familiar, this was the original one. So
now we're talking.
So vibrant.
I don't think this is better for me. I don't. The colors are better, but I think they made the right decision. Listen to their fans. I wouldn't have bought it in this state. I wouldn't have. Yes, it's more posable, but it's just the joints are just way too noticeable for me. Like, and you got it here with Miles, who has a regular suit, Gwen with a regular suit, and then you throw this at us. It just doesn't work for me.
Well, that's like what's his name was saying with the rooted hair versus sculpt.
Yeah, and it certainly creates like a conflict in your display for sure. But I think that's much better, in my opinion. We're not going to.
What are they going to do with those effect pieces, though? Like what they had on the back of them and stuff?
With his cape and everything?
It's pretty magnetic.
Yeah, I'm sure that's some sort of magnets or something. Let's see. Wolfman says Spider-Man 29 new suit. Matt says big ups, looks great with the suit, and I agree. And it's always great to see them listen to people. They obviously made a lot of people upset with that original one. Some people calling it the worst release, or worst announcement of this year. So it's good to see that they went back to the drawing board and made some changes. Ian says, I can't lie, it looks really good. And again, I think it's definitely a big improvement for sure. This is the Miles that just recently went up, guys. I'm sure you've seen plenty of photos of this. Here's a better shot of the 2099 Spider-Man. Again, I think he looks awesome.
He's huge.
He is huge. He's bulky. He's got big shoulders. He did lose some of that vibrancy. I think that's very obvious, but I do think he looks awesome. But the star of the show for me, guys, is the new Spider-Man 2 black suit. I know Owen and I were kind of gunning for this one, really hoping it was, and this was, if they released nothing else that I cared about from the second game, this is what I wanted. And man, did they kill it. I love all the different symbiote pieces. I love the symbiote hanging off of the claws. I'm curious.
Special edition head sculpt is my favorite.
Special
Give you
edition
like a
head
sneak
sculpt.
peek for Venom, maybe. I know a lot of people want that Venom.
I hope so, man. And I'm curious to hear on the panel how many people are picking this up. Lane, I know you thought this was really cool because I know you like the Spider-Man stuff, but I don't know if there's a more zoomed in photo here. Let's see. Kind of out of the corner. I know we have more photos of it. We have some videos to watch, but again, like such a great suit. I love the idea of the symbiote tendrils wrapping around the claws. Overall, I'm really pumped about this.
I like the eyes and stuff on the head sculpt there. It gives almost a more Venom feel to it and
with
everything.
that shading, like that kind of like
around the edge.
And they have said the game Venom, whoever is going to be the human host for the Venom symbiote is someone who has never been Venom before.
Yeah, but they said that with Mr. Negative. They said it was a whole new villain and everything, and then it turned out not to be.
Yeah.
1-6 says they got railed for the plastic version. Talking about the Spider-Man 29 should get credit for fixing. I agree. But I do also agree that they should have done that from the get-go. It should have been like part of their thinking process. Like maybe people won't like this. What's up, Control Alt Delete? Great to have you here as always. And as I always say, you're never late. You're always on time. So thank you so much for being here. And yes, guys, those of you who wanted the HasLab Ghost, you guys know I'm going to be getting it because I collect 3.75 scale Star Wars vehicles. The HasLab Ghost is funded and on its way to the next tier. So definitely awesome to see.
It was fast, too.
It was fast. And I'm not surprised. The Ghost crew is definitely a fan favorite, especially for Rebels fans.
Dude, the hype's real, yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Especially with Ahsoka right around the corner, too.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And they have some really awesome stretch goals with the different figures and stuff. But yeah, this Spider-Man looks awesome. We did get a shot of Gore, guys.
Still doesn't look better.
I'm not going to lie. This is a very unflattering pose for these arms. I still stand by the fact that doing seamless for this one would have been very difficult, especially with he has these kind of like etched in scars. I'm not surprised that they went this route, but also, yeah, this pose is not very flattering. And someone made the joke, like, I didn't know Gore was part of the Star Wars universe because he's in front of all the different Star Wars stuff. But I will say, though, the look of this aside, that sculpt is pretty damn good. I think that's a really good sculpt. I think the likeness is there, and I love how the teeth with the dripping black ooze looks. I think it looks awesome. Not a very flattering pose for him. I also love how they kind of just threw all the hands and stuff on the base. I guess they were still...
Yeah, they ran out of time.
Yeah. Eric said, oh, this is a fun question. HasLab Ghost versus Anakin Skywalker, which would be a better investment? I mean, I wouldn't consider either of them an investment. I will say the Razor Crest tanked pretty hard in price, so I can't recommend you to invest in it because the Razor Crest is selling for like $500 now. It was selling for a lot when it first came out, but that's up to you, my friend.
That could be a hard one for either way because there are also still a lot of Anakins on the market too.
Right. And I was talking with Chris about that. Like, I don't know if the Anakin's just going to like hold this crazy value over time. Like, this could just be very much hype driven. And then when everybody starts getting them in hand, it kind of subsidizes. Kind of like it happened with a lot of figures with the Endgame Stealth Suit 2.0 Cap, with the Arena Fett, with the Churro Spider-Man. All of those figures have come down in price, still selling for a decent amount for newer figures.
Man.
Right, but the market is not good right now, so you can't really expect any of these figures to totally pop off.
Nobody's
Even like
buying.
the Battle Droid and the Clone Trooper we see here, those have tanked as well. Those were selling for a decent amount when people finally realized that they were actually waitlisted. So, also
the market's getting saturated with Anakins. Return of the Sith was the only Anakin you could buy, and then now it's got Attack of the Clones, Clone Wars. And then this one as well.
We don't have a lot of that guy, though.
The golden boy right here. Guys, I told you. I told you.
He's like,
we had faith. We stayed faithful.
I done told you. I've had faith in this one forever, guys.
Owen, Daddy.
I done told him this was gonna come out. I told him to have faith in. I mean, I had so many different theories about this. I'm like, guys, like, and Owen and I talked about this many times. You guys, if you guys know me, you know I've been talking about this feral predator till the cows come in. I'm like, dude, like NECA took forever to announce theirs. There's something going on with the licensing, and I'm like, I know Hot Toys didn't give up on this feral predator. I just know it, and here it is. And I got to be honest with you guys, I think he looks awesome. I think he looks awesome. All I want to know is how good does he look with the helmet off? Because he looks fantastic.
He looked weird in the movie with the helmet off. To be fair, so
he's gonna look weird, but I really want to see it. But it was so great to see like the outpouring of happiness from all the fans seeing this, because guys, this movie was a banger. It was great. It was way better than I expected it to be. And to see this figure come to fruition, you could see. Look at Owen's face. Look at mine. Like, dude, it's awesome. I don't own any Predators yet. Owen's been like schooling me on all the different Predator stuff. I'm going to get the classic Predator eventually, probably from Jeremy. You know, he makes me buy everything. But this is one I'm like, I really, really want this to happen. So I'm so happy to see that now we got that tease from Hot Toys saying, hey, guys, we're doing the feral Predator. Don't worry. Now I'm like, we got the feral. Once this gets announced, maybe Naru, maybe the dog.
And that diorama base is kind of hinting towards it.
And it
is. The axe in the background.
The wood, yeah, the axe and the log. I was thinking that myself, and I'm like, dude, if they give us Naru, like,
and the
I
dog.
would lose my mind. And the dog, like, it's just the icing on the cake. But he looks great. The feral predator has so many different cool attachments and different gadgets and stuff, and I think he looks awesome. And he does have visible joints, but I think they did a pretty decent job at hiding them. And Owen and I were kind of speculating earlier when I was talking with Owen backstage about the dreads. I do think these might have wire in them.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know anything until we get some more info on it, but a lot of people were saying, oh, it's unfortunate they didn't do like fabric dreads or cloth or whatever, you know, some sort of hair or something.
The old ones were rubber.
Right.
And then they would usually, at the top, they would start to flake.
Right. So I think this is probably a step in the right direction.
I think so.
And recently, Owen, Fennec Shand was released, and she has a posable ponytail. So, and it feels very, and Lane, you could attest to this because I think you have Fennec in hand as well. The ponytail feels very solid. I don't feel like it's going to break it. Of course, you got to be careful with all of this stuff.
Careful. I learned to be very careful when attaching the helmet.
Right, but like the ponytail, when you pose it, it doesn't feel like it's going to break on you very easily.
Fine.
So I think they could probably use that same kind of plastic with these and have posable tails here on the end, and I think it would be really cool. And they kind of all look like they're all in different directions as well.
Yeah,
yeah, he's a cool looking figure. I was not a fan of this Predator. I've seen Prey. I'm not a huge fan of his look and stuff like that very much. To me, I just didn't care for it that much. I like Wolf. I'm the AVP Predators. Like, those are my idealized Predators.
That's fair. I think for most people, they're probably everybody says this Predator is ugly, you know?
Yeah. Well,
he is.
Well, I never heard of wanting to go kiss a Predator on the face. They didn't have ever faces for that. If I had to choose between them or, you know, the face of a Xenomorph, I might choose them if I had to make out. But
Predator?
Yeah. Well, you know, the vagina mouse and stuff. But those wow, Chris is hiding his face there.
My virgin ears.
Yeah, but I think the look to this because we may not get ever another thing of this guy for years to come. Maybe we may
not see another Predator figure for a long time,
or even a statue of this guy. Maybe 5 to 10 years down the road, if on secondary scene the movie stays popular or whatever. So this is a nice perfect representation, I think, of the creature and stuff. So I'm curious to see what his price point's going to be. I think the look to the guy in figure form, like if I didn't know anything about the movie and I was just looking at the figure, I'd go, dude, that is an awesome looking monster. Like, monster. Right. That's something I might have to think about. I'm wondering, do you think the
mandibles
is removable?
They usually are.
I would think that they do because they've done it in the past.
I reckon it comes off. They usually have like a sort of thing you push in and then you can pull it out.
Right.
I never put anything past Hot Toys trying to save a buck though.
Yeah,
it did look kind of. He did look weird in the film with the mask off. I personally wouldn't
I would
mind.
keep the
better
mask
there. He
on,
looks
but
better
just
there.
to be able to do it, you know, like
It's cool. It's like a cool feature.
Right, well, like the Back to the Future 3 Marty, you can't take his hat off. And I'm like, oh, I wish you could, you know. So I definitely would hope that they do that. And Mike says, I hate to be negative, but with the exposed joints and torso split, there's no distinction between this and the NECA Predators other than scale. Not hating, that's just how I see it. And that's fair, your opinion.
The NECA ones look great. I don't think it's anything to be offended by.
Did a great job on this one. They did an awesome job. I think he looks great. I don't have them to compare. I don't have an issue with the exposed joints. If I'm being honest with you guys on this one, I think they did a good enough job hiding the joints. I did not want to see this have Venom style skin. I did not want to see that. I wanted to be able to pose mine with the shield and stuff. So I'm cool with what we got here, personally. But I understand your point. Totally understand your point. Ghostbusters Plus Collector is here. What's up, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for coming in. Matt, I know Matt's got the jokes tonight. He says League of Legends, Predator.
I actually forgot that figure existed.
You're full of it.
Yeah, I will say, you know, for that League of Legends figure, doing Kaisa from League of Legends, that is such a weird choice when, if you think about if you're going to start a league line of 6-scale figures, doing Jinx or V or somebody like that, since they were like in the movie, you know, the animated series last year, the year before, it was super popular. Like doing one of those characters feels like if you're going to start your line, you would use like one of those, you know, normie people who may not even play the game, but they might have seen that. They're going to recognize and go, those characters are awesome. So you know that. But
yeah, and I'm not familiar with League, but a lot of people were saying that, Lane. They were like surprised. And we're talking about exposed joints. When we get to those photos, Lane, I have a few choice words.
But now we're getting to the ultimate killer, who is 50 times.
Look at this guy. And I will say, this lighting does not do the sculpt justice, because this is like the crappiest lighting possible.
Dude, even with the crappy lighting though,
it's such a good sculpt.
It's so much better than the original.
And they
one.
chose such a good pose for this sculpt too.
Baba Yaga, here we go. Mr. Wick.
Off like that.
Yeah, and Chris, I was saying that earlier. I know a lot of people probably are going to be on two sides of the fence when it comes to the hair. The hair is kind of crazy. It's got that wet look to it. But dude, like, look at John Wick in the 4th movie. He's going crazy, dude. Especially
his hair's in his eyes.
Right, his hair's constantly sweaty.
He's sweating, man, like half the movie.
Right, exactly.
I still haven't seen it.
He's running, hiding, jumping, trying not to get killed and killing people.
Right.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it, but from the other films, he's constantly moving, so I can imagine.
Right. Yeah, for sure. KTH says, what's up, by the way, KTH? I don't know if I said hi to you. He says, not sold on the John Wick head sculpt. That's fair. Paul says, yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is really exciting, Paul. Yes, Baba Yaga. And guys, Kane looks absolutely fantastic as well. I loved his character. Obviously, you start off like, this guy's trying to kill my favorite character in this movie. Like, what's going on? And then you grow to love the character so much. At least I did. Maybe not everybody, but I think it looks great. I think there's a photo of all the accessories laid out. There's a lot of cool stuff. We even got the dueling pistols from the final scene, which I think is awesome. They included that. Now I'm just like, can somebody, if it's third party, do a marquee? I know there was one, but it looks horrible. Too bad Hot Toys didn't do a marquee.
I want a stairs diorama.
Yeah, for that final scene, that'd be awesome.
No, I want him rolling down.
Dude, oh, you're talking about before the final scene. Okay.
Yeah, just rolling down the stairs. I want that diorama.
That scene had you kind of on the edge of your seat, like.
Oh, my whole cinema cracked up. Everyone was laughing.
Yeah,
he just kept rolling.
He just gets up and keeps on going.
That looks so.
I have the film bought too. I can watch it anytime. I just haven't had.
Yeah, everybody, if you have not seen John Wick 4, you have to see it. It's in my opinion the best out of all of them, and that's hard to say because John Wick 3 was so good, but I loved John Wick 4. I really did. I thought it was great.
My second. I still like the first one the best because it was a nice.
For me, it was 3 lane, and now it's 4. 4 is my favorite.
Connor, I just I put in a picture in the group of a better picture of the John Wick sculpt if you wanted to show them.
Sorry, I got a lot of pictures. I got some pictures from Sean that I have to show as well.
And we got that Continental series coming soon. You know, the prequel that's gonna have Mel Gibson and stuff in it.
Ballerina as well.
Yeah, that's next year. So even though John Wick is on hold for right now for anything else at the moment, there's still some cool stuff in this universe coming.
That photo is so small. Sorry to cut you off, Lane. I think I have a better John Wick photo in the other group of photos that I have. Here's a shot of the accessories. By the way, guys, the fingers are missing. So a lot of people are having questions about that. We do have missing fingers there.
I do like the coins, man.
The coins are awesome. Obviously, that's
a big
part of these films. The dueling pistol is the coolest accessory to me, just because I didn't know they were going to include that. That was a
Yeah.
accessory for me.
No Pit Viper though.
Yeah, the Pit Viper. I mean, come on now. He just comes with a lot of cool stuff. I was hoping to see the Dracaris, the shotgun.
Yeah, with some effect pieces for the Dragon Breath would have been cool.
Maybe they'll include more stuff. Who knows? But this also could be it. They look really good. Now, here we are, guys. One of the big topics of conversation here is the Hot Toys Artisan DX Joker. Now, I will say, I will say, KTH says no way 3. They gave Halle Berry too much screen time. I love Halle Berry. How dare you?
And the dogs. They were cool.
And the dogs. The dogs were cool. Mike says the crotch grabber on Kane makes me super uncomfortable. That's fair, dude. That's fair.
I wanted more. I wanted Halle Berry in part 4.
I liked her character.
Fun.
I liked her character a lot.
Yeah.
But talking about this Joker, guys, I will say, and I'll pull up the Hot Toys photos briefly, because I want you guys to see the comparison, because a lot of people were kind of jumping the gun, I think, with the rooted hair. And even myself, when I first saw it, I'm like, not blown away, but I'm definitely interested in picking it up. Even when we look at the announcement photos, the hair has like a tremendous amount of volume to the point where it looks old. And I think Hot Toys did this head sculpt much more justice here with the way that they posed it. And I'll pull up this photo real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But I think Hot Toys did a bad job in these announcement photos. And
it looks awful there.
Right, seeing it here, it's like it's got too much volume. It's not what you would expect. And even here, you can see it here. There's just too much volume in the hair. It's not kind of slicked closer to his head like it should be. And rightfully, a lot of people saw it and they're like, that's not accurate. That's not as good as the InArt one. But
it doesn't look like the same figure.
No, it doesn't at all.
It looks so different.
And even looking at the coat here, guys, I mean, we're going to go back to those other photos, but even looking at the coat looks very clean. It looks super clean. And I'm going to pull back up now the other photo that I pulled up from the event. And you could see, excuse me, I'm itching my eye here. You could see a lot more weathering on the coat, weathering towards the bottom, weathering in the lapel area. Now, being that I own the InArt one, do I think this coat is as good as the InArt? It's hard to say, because I think the InArt purple coat is like fantastic. Like, it's really good. Like, I think they did a great job on it. Purple coat. It lays really well on the body. The weathering is good. So it's going to be very interesting to see this one in person. I am trying to get my hands on this one. And guys in the chat, let us know if you're trying to get your hands on this. And I know we're talking about mostly Anakin earlier, but the rooted DX Artisan Joker, how many people want this one? Here's kind of a farther back shot. Now, a lot of people also had the question, guys, is the base magnetic? It is not magnetic. I'm happy to say that they did use that technology with that short little grabber that they did with the Indiana Jones that's going to be coming out. That has the same thing here. And this is a USB powered base as well. And I think it has 2 different modes, right? I think it says something about 2 different modes. So definitely glad to see that this isn't magnetic. I wasn't a huge fan of the magnetic base on the InArt Joker. I think it needed a bit more work there, but I'm very curious to see how it works out with that little tiny grabber, because I think it's a smart move on their part, but how well does it work? That's the question.
And it's LED light up base. You can see it's wired in there.
Yep.
And
this section
it says there's 2 alternate options for the light up, and you can see on the bases there they're both different.
Yep.
One's like got a bit of orange and one doesn't. Is that it?
So I don't know. It looks like these both have a wire running to them. I believe the photo says something about 2 different color modes. I could be wrong, but City Rider says, what's up, by the way, City Rider? City Rider says, are these jackets on the Joker figures wired? I would assume so.
Yeah,
we don't have any official information yet, but it does look like there's some wiring here, especially with how the coat's bent. But no information on that yet. By the way, guys, those who aren't aware, if you're just getting here and you haven't heard much info on these Jokers, there is a sculpted version, which should be a standard release. And then there is a artisan version, the DX Artisan, which is going to be a limited release. So you do have a sculpted, just like InArt, you have a sculpted or a rooted version.
Also, the speaking of the wires, I don't think the Anakin hood is wired.
Yeah, and you had asked that earlier. I'm not sure. Obviously, we don't have any concrete information on these yet. So I'm not too sure about it.
I actually heard that the robes on Anakin were wired, like completely wired.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
I read that somewhere.
Also,
I-
it seems to be like where the tabards are.
It's a different robe. They said it's newly
It kind of sticks up.
designed.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does look like the tailoring has been kind of
I think it
completely
fits
redone
nicer.
on this. It fits nicer. The tabards look a slightly longer than the original ones for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
They
wish
can
it
be
was
pulled
leather.
up from the back though, so you don't completely
True.
know yet. But the robe is honestly supposed to be longer, so they still haven't hit that. But it does look it's longer at least than the current one.
I think the light side was shorter than the dark side one, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
It's like they keep going further down and they're not quite there yet. But
The Qui-Gon one, a lot of people were swapping that onto the Anakin.
that's actually what I have now. That's what
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. But this Joker looks really good, guys. I mean, I don't know how many of y'all. I know I've told you guys I'm interested in getting the DX Artisan version. Still trying to lock that down. Again, guys, we're not sure of how this is going to go through Sideshow. I don't know what their process is going to be. We don't have any information on that yet. Of course, again, I would highly recommend. The link is in the description in the Hot Toys Hotline Facebook group. All of our info we post there first. So definitely head on over there if you're not in there yet, if you have a Facebook account. But I think it looks great, guys. This is one I'm still trying to secure. I'm probably willing to spend less on this one.
And this one's going for more.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I do think this one's going to sell for a lot more because obviously Star Wars has a smaller fan base than I think a Heath Ledger Joker is going to have with DC fans. I think worldwide, this one's going to have more fans, which is interesting because, we have the great figures from InArt, but now we have a competitor to that. And this is certainly, in my opinion, guys, and you guys can feel free to share your thoughts on this. And thank you, Insane One, for dropping the RSVP link. But guys, I think this is a very clear, competition for InArt here, especially the fact that they did a sculpted and a rooted version. I think it's very clear that they're trying to compete here. Not that they think they need to compete, but I think it's like, hey, we can do that too. And we're going to do something.
Kind of giving the edge to InArt though, right now.
It depends on what it is, right? So when I'm looking at these, and guys, we're not going to have a long conversation about this. These are just prototypes, but I think there's some things that are good on each of them. They both have their strong suits, but I will say, after seeing the Hot Toys at this event, I think it came out much stronger than I expected after seeing those original photos.
Yeah, I wasn't interested.
Bang for your buck though, too. With InArt, you get 2 figures versus 1, and for the price of their one,
for standard,
you could have saved. Yeah, but I still feel like you could have saved some money with InArt versus what that Hot Toys rooted one's going to cost you.
Right, but if you go the sculpted route, it's going to be a standard release. I'm curious to see the pricing on the sculpted because, again, right now these prices are super inflated because everybody's trying to get their hands on them, and that doesn't reflect the actual retail value of the figure. That's what you have to consider at the end of the day. The sculpt, and Chris, I know where you're going with it. Like, why would you go and spend $700 on the Joker when you could get the InArt figures? And I agree, the InArt figures are tanking in price as well.
The diorama base, well, yeah, because it's their first fate. That one's a whole separate story that we can go on.
People are still trying to get their InArt Jokers. They're still trying to
Fiction.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of reasons.
Spec Fiction is still trying to get these InArt Jokers out,
and that's their fault.
This is the one thing for this Joker that has the advantage over InArt. It's not anything even to do with anything with the figures or quality. It's whether it's it's going to be limited. I know the Artisan, but being able to get that or trying to get just the sculpted hair, it's because of distribution. You're going to have an easier time getting, which is going to make it for perhaps general population, the Hot Toys one more desirable because you can get your hands on it. Where trying to get off the InArt one is, that is, I don't criticize InArt with necessarily distribution because that Joker is supposed to be for Asian market like China. It's not necessarily meant for, in theory, for the rest of the world. Now, the actual practicality, it wasn't going to be bought by collectors throughout the world. That's a whole different matter.
That picture sold me.
Yeah, that thing with, I'm not surprised. I'm a little surprised that we're not a little Heath Ledger Jokered out by this point, since in the last 4 years, we've literally had this guy in every shape, from 1/6 scale figure to 1-to-1 scale life-size statue of this character has come out, where we might have with Hot Toys kind of coming here now, like maybe towards the end of the life, kind of the life cycle of different stuff being made for the character, I could see where maybe not for the artisan version, but perhaps enthusiasm for like the sculpted, which is going to be more ready available, being perhaps not quite as there much as there might have been beforehand. But hey, the flip side is, if that's going to be more along the lines of how that one's going to be more along the lines of how Hot Toys does their, ordering and manufacture, that might mean the production run is lesser for that figure and could help the desirability of it long term, instead of it just being, either you got the rooted or GTFO, like 2 years from now, kind of thing.
Yeah. And I think, go ahead, Chris.
I was just going to add in a quick note to kind of wrap it up for me, is that I think they both have pros and cons, and the list is probably equal on both sides of the figures. And ultimately, it's like, at the end of the day, it's your choice, it's your money. You do whatever you want with it.
The more options, the better.
Be happy.
The more options, the better. Yep. I think whether you go InArt or Hot Toys, you have a fantastic figure on your hands. Obviously, we haven't seen the final product for Hot Toys, but I think they'll deliver. I have the InArt Jokers in my collection. I think they're awesome figures, so you really can't go wrong with either one. And at the end of the day, when it comes to collectors, the more options, the better, in my opinion. So don't feel yourself having to get wrapped up in defending your purchase, guys. If you like the Hot Toys, get the Hot Toys. If you like the InArt, enjoy your InArt figure, enjoy your Hot Toys figure. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. That's my thought on it.
Yeah, because I think, from an outside, I have neither. And from an outside point in, like, I think they both look beautiful, to be honest. And they both have, like, I'm sure Hot Toys will have its flaws once it's come out. And as you've already said with the hair, and we already know InArt's part, but there's still a lot of people who enjoy those figures. So,
yeah.
The question is how they get packaged. That's why I'm
true,
interested in
InArt,
same with Anakin too.
They set the bar high, and Mike is actually asking a question about the. Mike said more of a statement. The tongue has to be friction fit rather than magnetic. Denobi thinks you push it out from the back of the head. But that sounds ridiculous. No, I actually think it removes from the inside of the head. Let me move us out of the way really quickly so I can show you guys. I'm gonna move your comment out of the way. If I show you guys down here, this right here is the tongue. So what it looks like to me is the teeth piece pops out, and then you put the tongue in. I think it just. I think it will come out the inside of the head.
Do you don't think it's going to come out from the back, like I said, the BVS Batman eyes, where you'd like pull it out and then swap
from the very back of the head? You think?
Yeah, because it's going to have rolling eyes, right? So I think they might have it so you pop the back off, and then you have access to it.
I could see that as well. I mean, me personally, it's this little piece is so short. I could see it being on the inside and kind of having a solid piece there where it pops in.
But then how do you get the teeth?
But the tongue is so. That's what I'm saying. You would have to really dig in there to pull it that way.
But wouldn't the teeth
be?
I guess so. I guess you're right. I guess that would be easier to pop out if they do it that way. Either way, I think it's a really cool design. I think it's pretty ingenious, and hopefully it's relatively user friendly. But I think it's really cool, and I love the tongue. He's constantly sticking his tongue out the whole time, licking his lips. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
It's definitely very characteristic of the character. Yeah, for sure. CSI says all these semantics. CSI, at the end of the day, buy what you want. That's all I care about. I don't care about going back and forth about which figure is better than the other. We're here to talk about what we have in front of us for the most part. Here's another shot of this Spider-Man. Again, guys, these are the more high-res photos. I just thought they looked really good, and we're gonna take a look at some videos as well.
Well, that looks cool though.
Yeah, he does look a lot more vibrant here. I think.
I think it might be a color thing.
Definitely more clear for sure, and I think they did a good job at capturing that detail that we saw in the plastic as well. I think it looks good, man. It's a shame we don't get to see the head sculpt, but
I love the head sculpt so much. So good.
The head sculpt's really good, and we do have another. Oh, look at that.
Oh, the LED. Okay.
Yeah, this looks really good.
That detail look good.
And look at the kind of like the
wetness.
The wetness.
I like that.
The gels. I think it looks really good, man.
They did a nice job with that figure. Like
they did, and I think they kind of had to. Matt says, "Yup, take the head off and swap with the teeth and tongue. Don't want to damage the lips." Yeah, exactly. You want to be very careful for sure.
And that looks like real bone. That looks so good.
Yeah, and look at all like the kind of tiny painted in details and the weathering on the edge. It looks great, man. I'm really excited for this figure. You do see your seam line there on the arm, but again, it doesn't bother me too much, and I think the character
you can cover that with the dread.
Exactly. I think the character has enough going on. I will say
Yikes.
this does look kind of bad. I won't lie about that.
That looks like he was watching Bale Batman, staring at Bale
Yeah.
Batman, trying to,
I wonder. I'm sure this probably has
copy his
swap out
facial
mouth
expression.
plates. I
You
would
know what
imagine.
though?
Where is
Even
she?
with all that,
Where is she?
you can still tell it's him though.
Oh, for
As you know.
sure.
Like,
I
I
think
can
they'll probably
see
have
him in
swap
there.
out mouth plates like they do with every other Batman cowl.
Do
Um,
do
I think they're
the
getting a little better with it, like
do
slowly
the
but
kryptonite
surely.
pieces come off? Are they removable?
It doesn't look like it. I mean, I could be wrong. It doesn't
It's
look
gonna be
like
a nightmare to pose. You're gonna like stab your hands.
it. I know. I mean,
Like, ooh, dude, that is so cool.
I love it, dude. Owen, I know it's not for you, man. I love it.
Connor stash, baby.
that looks like 70s and like
Yeah.
animated series.
Here
when
you go,
somebody would
guys.
start to be
Now you
animated
know why I
something.
like him so much. He has the fake mustache like me.
Yeah.
That's
That-
why
I
I
just
like him.
I just think it looks it's missing some skin texture, which I get is the point, but it just makes it look kind of
That's fair.
third
It's very
party.
cartoony. Love the visor, man. We've seen. I mean, it's kind of hard to achieve that red visor. We've seen it with the Vader.
I think it
lenses
looks better as a
sometimes.
figure, like seeing it like this than he did in the show.
in the show. I'd agree with that.
He looks awesome, man. I hope this is some sort of cloth or like a leather material underneath. Great photos. Shout out to, I guess this is Ryan that took these photos. Ryan,
Yeah,
Copeland, Justin's guy.
with that paint or however the metallic paint they use.
This
per
blows
helmet,
the original one out of the water. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, it
it looks
does.
so
It
much
looks
better.
so good.
What about the fur? Does that look any better?
It looks about the same.
Yeah, the
Looks about the
metallic.
same. But the metallic, and she's got a black
Yeah.
one as well.
We got to see
Remember-
those feet though.
What'd you say, Sean?
Yeah.
You-
The
huh?
helmet needs to be more chromed out.
Oh, you can
like
kind
how-
of see the jetpack here as well.
Yeah. But I mean, if you
Let's take a
remember,
look at
like,
those.
if you go back and watch the show, you'll actually see like how the helmet in season 3 is really chromed and shined out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
They
if-
need to electroplate it.
Yeah.
In the cave, you could see it actually shining a lot more. And then when they're there, all talking about if they're going to go to Navarro, you could see it specifically shine out. They should have done almost like the Chrome Mando version of
Yeah.
it, but just with the gold.
Yeah. Collector. What's up, by the way, dude? He says double jointed. It doesn't look like it. It looks to be the same single jointed body, unfortunately. Maybe they'll surprise us, but unfortunately, it looks to be the same. It does look like a blaster from Fallout. I would agree with that. I would totally agree with that.
Doing the female characters dirty.
Dude, this guy's just so cute, man. I love it. I don't love the visible joints in the arms, but I understand why. But I love the hair job on the front. I think that looks really
Yeah.
good.
He was
These
a
are
part of the
great
Artisan
note as
series.
joints.
Yeah, the Artisan series and Zelen 1-to-1. Sculpt does look better here, I will say. But again,
It's just the
that
pose.
forehead.
It needs to be.
Yeah.
He needs to be falling, otherwise it just looks strange.
Yeah. Look at that, man. Again,
Ooh.
he looks awesome. He looks
Man,
really
I need
good.
me to Donnie yet. I don't have It Man or Chariot, so I definitely need this guy.
Right. Joe said, "Where's her pun?" Maybe we'll have something exclusive to the original one. Maybe she won't come with all that cool stuff. Like she had Sean. Remember, she had the piece of armor. She had the smelting tools and everything. Maybe she won't come with that with the new one. Who knows?
Who knows?
Maybe they'll do a diorama piece like they did with Doctor Strange of her, like
That would be cool.
Maybe-
a place where she
Yeah.
welds or something.
Yeah, or maybe she'll have the piece that she made for Grogu.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that would be
The
cool.
little boy's
Yeah,
helmet
where's all that stuff
that
so
she
far?
that
Like,
she made. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Once again, guys, this sculpt is pretty damn good. I think this lighting
I really
does
like
much
it.
more justice. I think it looks great. I really do. That's 100% Keanu Reeves right there. And I think the beard looks really good too. I think the beard looked okay on the original, but this is definitely
It's
a
more
big
sculpted. In the old one, it looked more painted on.
Yeah, for sure. I think it looks really good. And again, the hair is definitely going to be. There's going to be people on both sides of it. I think it looks really good.
I was speaking to Dave, and he said you can probably, if you don't like it, how dynamic it is, you can probably warm it up and squeeze it together, and then watch it sort of come back in a bit.
Yeah,
Sort of
I'm
the
sure-
opposite of what they tell you to do with the InArt Joker.
Right. Big. Oh, look what we got in the chat. Beskar kid, what's up, bro? How you doing, Beskar?
Beskar.
How many rooted Anakins is he got? Three
Beskar,
or
I think you have 3 secured, right? You're going crazy over there, man, with all these rooted Anakins. Here we have a shot of the rooted sculpt. Looks absolutely fantastic. The hair looks a little fluffy here because of the angle, but it looks good, man. It really does. I just think he looks so good. I'm so excited to check this guy out.
those
Hey,
robes
I
sit much
really
better.
It was so messed up at Sideshow now.
Sean, I think they really didn't care, dude.
Guy Clender got like jealous. You want to know what it was like to feel hair like through somebody's head?
That's a good theory.
And Anakin was the only one that would let him do it.
That's a good theory. That may have been what happened. That may have been what
That's
happened.
why it was all jacked up.
Dude, it looks so bad.
What a range of characters there together.
I know. You got Anakin, you got the Joker, and then you got
what a trio.
But see, look, you know, Mike, if you're still here, we're talking about the exposed joints. Like, what the heck is this, man? This is like Spider-Man 2099 right here. Lane, I'm not a League of Legends player, but how rough is this compared to the in-game model?
Well, I haven't played League a ton myself, but
I can get you a picture of that if you want.
Yeah, that is Dark Clash level of poo.
Yeah, I mean,
it just, because it's totally video game animated, even more so than say the Bad Batch or something, for not being real, quote, real life, which is what they normally excel at. I do feel like this is kind of a strange thing for them a little to do. However, as we were talking about, with the lack of maybe live action projects where they normally would make figures from, I can see why they might do it. And League of Legends in the Asian market is super popular as well.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a great IP. I really do. It doesn't interest me, but it's a really cool IP.
And also, Tencent, the Chinese company, also does own a good chunk, if not like controlling interest in Epic that makes the game. So there might be a little synergy quote with that too.
It's based on a cinematic. I've just pushed to the end.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people are kind of saying, that Lane, it's a weird character for them to start with. Again, I don't know anything about League of Legends, but again, I do think it's really cool. I know the photos got pulled, which was strange. There's still some photos lurking here and there, but they did pull the main post down. Don't know if there's something going on with the licensing or if they posted a little too early.
Yeah. I think it's the torso that's real. I mean, because we're all used to seeing joints on some figures.
She almost kind of looks like what's her name?
Alita. Yeah, I thought when I saw it, I thought it
was a new Alita that I didn't know about. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I'm like, oh, it's League of Legends.
It's the torso there, like in the stomach.
The proportions are strange.
The torso there with the joint thing, it just looks like garbage. I mean, it looks like how we make jokes every once in a while for Marvel figures looking like a Marvel Legends figure.
Right.
That looks like a Marvel Legends figure. Right.
Connor, I just I posted into the Hot Toys Hotline group the 2 pictures from the cinematic of what she's based on. This is what my friend showed me.
So the sculpt doesn't look too bad.
It's pretty good, actually.
The sculpt's pretty solid. I think it's just like Lane said. Let me see if this will pull up. There we go. So this is what it's based off of, guys. We're not gonna spend too much time on this because I know everybody's like. But this is what it's supposed to look like. Again, I don't think the sculpt's bad. I just think it's maybe the design of the character kind of not too good translating it to figure form. By the way, I wanted to say what's up. Long time no see, Single Songwriter. I hope you're doing well. Single Songwriter says, hi, collectors. Maybe I'm late, but I just got the RSVP email for the Joker list. We did drop the link in the script in the channel live chat, but thank you for reminding us. Guys, if you haven't, the link has been dropped many times in the live chat, so definitely check it out and RSVP if you want that Joker. Just thought I would let everyone know. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for being here as well. Joe P says, I want to slap the Sideshow employee who displayed that Anakin one like that. Yeah, they didn't do it justice at all. They just opened it up for a bunch of trolls. Beskar Kid has 2 secure, 2 for his collection, but 3 secured. Can see if I can get a 4th. Guys, don't all start PMing Beskar.
Jamming them at once.
Yeah, don't start PMing Beskar Kid. That was at Collecting Madness. But you're crazy, Beskar Kid. But I can't blame you, dude. It's such a gorgeous figure. I know you're a big Star Wars guy. But I think it's time to move on to the videos, guys. Let's do the shorter video first. This is a quick tour from Toys TV, and then we'll pull up the other one. Let me pull this up in full here. We don't care about all the... Oh, this is not the shorter video. This is the longer video. As I say, I'm pulling up the shorter video first. Let's pull up the shorter video. Here we go. There's a quick view of the Hot Toys booth. I'll slow it down just a little bit because it's a little too fast. Guys, we didn't pull up photos of the Cayman Rider, but we're going to see him here in these videos. Cool. Yeah, this is a really cool display, but how cool would it be to actually be at this event and be able to see all this stuff in person? I'm definitely jealous of all you guys.
The cos babies.
Yeah, you love. I will say,
look at all them in here.
That Vader cos baby was pretty cool,
dude. Those Cayman Riders, because I don't have a ton of background with Kamen Rider, Masked Rider franchise, because it's been going for 40 years, like Power Rangers, Super Sentai. But that Kamen Rider Black, which is based off the movie Black Sun, is a reinterpretation of maybe the most popular Kamen Rider series, Kamen Rider Black and Kamen Rider Black RX. I've seen the movie. It is very cool. Those figures are amazing interpretations of the movie. To put how popular the original one is, the guy who played the main character in the 2 series still comes back to almost within the last couple of years playing the character, even though he's 50-something years old now, because that is still the definitive version of that character that most of them get compared to. So it's sorry, I don't mean to get distracted, but that's 2 figures that our audience were not really going to know anything about.
And those are what? Those are limited to 100 each, right? Those are very limited figures.
Small. Yeah,
very limited figures. So
and the bike's cool too.
Dude, I'm not a fan. I have no experience with Kamen Rider Lane, but I think they look incredible. It's really cool designs. They're almost like cooler looking Power Rangers. I hate to say because I know
I thought they reminded me of Power Rangers.
That the original series, the movie was based off of reimagined the story of basically was Masked Rider here, which had the kid who looked like wind would break him in half if it blew on him because he was so puny looking. From Edenoi, he was in originally a early Power Ranger episode. That's how they spun it off basically. Saban did back in the 90s, but that was the original basis for it. But anyway, sorry, I don't want to distract because that's
okay.
Looking at, but I just thought I would give it a minute or so. Just describe those figures looking and stuff are so amazing. But I just saw the Spider-Man and had to shut it. That's when my brain went, oh, Spider-Man.
Yeah. I like how Single Songwriters has got that Wick walk down pat. Yeah, I think it's a cool pose. Yeah. And yes, the Dewback is huge, Single Songwriter. It's a big piece. If you guys have the Blurg, it's going to be similar in size. The Blurg is gigantic. It's way bigger than it looks in person.
All I can think of is if somebody bumps this table.
I know because they're just sitting on the look, the Spider-Man in the back, they're done for. Every figure in the back is totally done for.
All of them, bro.
Not like Hot Toys cares, so they could just make another one. Right?
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing, I think this, if you can stop here for a second, where we can see to give the size of the Dewback is we have in comparison the 1/1. Look, the Grogu Baby in the Pram.
Yeah.
And how big that is. That's 1/1 size. Look how big that thing is next to it. I think it's hard to see when we see the stills from Sideshow just to put in comparison for how I look at that and go, I want that Dewback, but I don't know where I
can only imagine how many Sean would get. Sean, I feel like you'd probably get an army of Dewbacks, wouldn't you?
2.
2.
Just 2.
Yeah. But
I expected more from you, Sean.
I will say how he got me with those Spider-Man. Because I got the advanced suit from the limited exclusive one. I totally would have passed on that to get this black suit, even though it's going to be more readily available, just because I think it's cooler. But I'm already in on the advanced suit, so I'm going to be sticking with that one. But I love that black suit so much. I'm not quite as other than you, when I was on with Zach with Collecting Weekly, he's not a guy who gets excited too much, where you can hear him almost giggling to himself because he's so excited for something. But he was doing that when he saw the black suit. Now, I was wondering to you guys if any of you heard about or you guys had any concern. The one thing I have heard a little bit, maybe discussion, a little concern about with the suit of the figure is posability.
It looks limited. It looks limited for sure, but I mean, let's be real. A lot of the Spider-Man suits, I'm not because of the style of the suit and them having to
2099 could be limited because it's an no.
I think he certainly will be, but it seems like most Spider-Man suits are very similar in the material they use. Obviously, there's some here and there that are different. Like we have the Spider Punk and Scarlet Spider that are a little bit different. But yeah, I mean, I do think I could see some limitations in posing. I'm usually pretty careful with my posing of my Spider-Man figures because I know the suits crease and stuff like that. But that's just me. Beskar made a great point. We have 9 figures for season 3 of Mando, and Beskar is saying I don't think they're done yet. And Lane, I'm honestly surprised at how many figures we did see for Mando season 3 because Andor completely passed over. Return of the Jedi 40th, 2 figures, and then you give us
even
9
some of the
figures from
Marvels. Do we think
3.
we're going to get any like from Secret Invasion necessarily?
Are we even going to get a Nick Fury? Is
I
Hawkeye
just feel like
from the Hawkeye show ever going to happen? Like, there's a lot of stuff they passed over.
But I think the one thing is I do worry a little bit for Mando season 3 is that so we're seeing these guys, but they have not been announced yet for pre-order. I do wonder if they could get if Ahsoka really we're not that far away. If that Ahsoka really takes off and everything, there's a Cayman that is close up with Cayman. Or I think that's
these are the life-size Cayman Riders they're showing us here. Let me.
Jesus Christ, man, those look good.
Like I said, I'm not familiar with the universe at all, but
those must be props or something from the movie.
So it's good because this is a video of them actually showing all the figures in the display cases. But again, I think they look really good, dude. The Cayman Riders are awesome. It is interesting. I don't know if it was Owen or somebody pointed out that the USB location was really weird. I don't know if
it's into the back of the belt, right? It wasn't me that pointed it out, but it's into the back of the belt.
Yeah, and it's like kind of on the side where it's visible. I thought that was very odd.
Yeah, well, the thing is for these guys, because like I said, there's been series to this day in this franchise. Like, there's so many weird looking Cayman Riders and stuff. It's ridiculous. Where this is based off came out in 87 and 88, like 30 some odd years ago.
And like 3-0 is doing Cayman Rider stuff as well.
Yeah,
at the same time.
But these guys, the belts there, that's the key where like they click on the belts and everything. That's how they activate their powers. That's for they might use card stuff or whatever stuff they're trying to sell to kids these days for that too. But the belt is like where always their transformation devices are that they use to turn over. That's why they have the light up.
Yeah, in the show they put in USB-C as well.
Yeah, that's what they do in the show. They plug in the USB-C in the side. Beskar Kid says the dewback should be close to 30 inches long and about an inch or 3 shorter than the blurg.
So that's going to be
a big piece.
That's going to be longer than the bark speeders in length.
Yeah, that's a big piece. Everybody's excited about that dewback. We got a lot of people talking about the dewback. Single Songwriter says dewback with Stormtrooper will be close to $585 when it's all said and done, and I will pay every penny of it. But I gotta have it. Yeah,
that'll be less than the bark.
Piece.
That's less than the bark. That would be
less than the Anakin and the Joker on the secondary market. Yeah, everybody's calling these the ants. That's what they look like. They look like ants.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point. Yeah, they're kind of beetle kind of influenced, I think. But
kudos to the camera guy for sneaking.
I'm more excited about the dewback than I am anything else.
What'd you say, Sean?
I'm more excited for the dewback than I am anything else.
I think that's definitely one of the most like show-stopping pieces we've seen.
Yeah, me too. That's the thing I want.
But then is that just a flex? Like they do?
I don't think it's a flex.
It could be, but I do see him doing it again because the Kuil and Blurg and the Mando and Blurg are hopefully an indication that they're willing.
Tony just looks weird like that to me.
The lighting is so bad here, by the way. Let's get that out of the way. The lighting is so bad.
The pose doesn't do any favors either.
No. Again, me personally, I'm probably going to have him just standing up and down without the armor because I just love that scene where he's kind of threatening Loki in a very non-threatening way. Beskar says, damn fat fingers, an inch or 2, LMAO. No big deal, no big deal.
I think they made him a bit skinny, though, to fit into the armor.
Probably. They probably had to make that decision. Kind of like Cable. They made his body a little skinny to look good with all the gear on. They kind of had to make that decision.
And even the Mark V suit up is a little bit funky.
How cool is this, though? The Avengers Tower Special Edition exclusive piece? That's really cool to me.
See, it's for this reason why the one thing I like with the Silver Centurion armor up of this mini line or whatever as part of the Iron Man's. I like that one where it definitely a lot of people said it had problems and stuff, and it is like literally like 1 millisecond of one moment in a movie. It's hard to say for spending $500 basically on that, but because it's not a separate Tony figure, but it's just it's like an actual figure which has the attachments you do to the body.
It's kind of like the Mark V suit up. You can separate them and have the figure by itself, which is a cool idea to me, I do like
But
that idea.
it's like the Mark 7 open armor. I think would have been cooler to have with that outfit.
And I passed on pre-ordering that one. I'm kind of happy I did because I would prefer this one personally, just because again you can have the Tony.
Just
figure
get the
by itself.
outfit.
Owen's favorite figure right here.
Hell yeah, it looks so good there as well, where you can see all the detail in the face.
Yeah, dude, I just love the lighting in these displays.
It is hilarious.
Doesn't it look like it should melt the figures almost for how bright it is?
This is such a goofy figure, man. This is like,
those two figures one after another as well.
This is a goofy figure for me. Again, if you're a fan of What If, you're probably ecstatic, and I don't blame you. There's the showstopper right there again, dude. He comes with some really cool stuff, and I love that they're doing new web effects finally. Like, holy crap, how many times
that special edition,
dude? Yeah, that you got to get the special.
So good.
Got to get the special edition like that. I would 100% display him like that. 100%.
I was worried about that figure. I thought it was going to come out looking really thick and rubbery, sort of like the anti-ox suit, but it looks nice and the material's pretty thin.
The material is nice. It looks, the anti-ox suit definitely suffers from a bit of like a rubbery look. It doesn't have that like suit look like you would expect.
There's the Borden figure to the left there. This doesn't help that Miles scene particularly.
Well, the problem with that Miles is they've done a very similar figure in the past, and it came with a lot more stuff. So it's like
the backpack.
Right, the hype just wasn't there for it, but people bought it. It sold out because it's limited, you know. This is again, I'm digging it. I really am. I think it's definitely a big win for collectors. I think he looks great. Every photo I've seen him in, and now seeing him in the video, I think he looks much better. Yeah. And I know people will have their opinions on the plastic version, but
well, I don't think he's going to be, because even though it had joints, you know, Justin during his preview video where he spent most of it bitching about the original figure pointed out that, like, even though it had joints, the way the figure was designed, it still couldn't pose for Jack without rubbing against, you know, different parts of it, rubbing against each other.
Right.
So it wasn't going to be, it's not like pretty much adding the suit is going to make it any less posable.
I don't think that's not the problem though. It's the fact that people are too scared to pose. Because the damage to the suit, all of the Hot Toys generally are pretty capable of doing something. It's just people don't want to ruin them.
Gambino, how you doing, my friend? Thank you so much for being here. By the way, guys, 63 people watching. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, if you haven't already, drop a like on the stream and also consider subscribing to the channel. I very much appreciate it. Matt says the cape is still plastic. I actually like it being plastic because it has that translucent. Because in the movie, the cape is like crazy looking. It's got this movement to it, and it's got this like effect to it. So I'm not really too bothered by that. I don't know if I could go up on the quality. Yeah, 360p. We're good on that. Well, sorry, I'm just now noticing that because holy crap, what a difference. But yeah, 360p. I apologize, guys. But this sculpt looks really good, by the way. I think it looks pretty solid. I actually would probably display him with the sculpt just because I don't like that mouth.
I like the neck and everything, actually.
Yeah, I don't. That's probably I imagine they're probably just doing that to show off the sculpt, but it looks good. I mean, the sculpt looks good to me, and I think the sculpt
like the hair.
The other Flash. Yeah, the hair is good too. I think this is a cool figure, and again, I do see this one happening personally. All right, guys, real quick, I'm gonna pause it because legendary Lane Kramer does have to go, but Lane, you lasted 2 hours and 20 minutes. Thank you so much, my friend, for being here. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and everything. We very much appreciate it. And I hope you have a great night and a great weekend, Lane. Thank you so much.
And I do have a go away question just for all you guys.
Sure.
So real quickly, before we get back to talking about getting back to Flash and stuff, when do you guys think the special editions figures, the artisan figures, will probably come up for pre-order? And when do you think it'll be probably before Ahsoka starts at the end of August? We'll probably start seeing some of these.
I would say,
and the Praetorian guys like that might start popping up.
I would say some of these as early as next week, since they're going up.
Say a week or
the
two.
Artisans, the Artisans going up. Obviously, over the next few days, people are having the opportunity to try to get them. I would say probably next week, Sideshow is going to start putting these up for pre-order, and that includes Indiana Jones, guys. Don't think we forgot about Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is coming for sure.
He's got some licensing issues there.
Right. They're obviously working that out. Matt said, "Yeah, see the bar that Owen set for us on about 6 hour stream. We got 4 more hours to go."
Last time I know, it did not say Nate Meister in my name tag here or anything like that.
I know. Yeah, Lane, you're supposed to hang out with us for a total of at least 6 hours.
8 to 10 hours. I'm sorry. I will try and not fail next
Well,
time.
Lane, this is your face at the thought of doing a 6 hour.
Yeah, that is my. Oh, geez, man. That was my face at 3:30 this afternoon at work when I was like, oh my god, there's still like 2.5 hours to go. Somebody say, I was like, Hot Toys Nightmare, teleport in and save me, man. I know you know instant transmission.
Everybody's saying have a good night to you, Lane.
Oh yeah, and songwriter, you're songwriter. You need to get in with that guy to start like betting on like sports or something, because I did a giveaway on Aries Stream on Monday again. That is he is at least 4 or 5 times where there's like 100 people in the chat or more. He has won the role for getting a free month of membership.
Oh, so you're saying he's like Big Dog Pound.
Yeah,
maybe those guys.
At one point, you gotta quit giving it then.
Well,
yeah,
you could probably say, if I could go none for you this month, then
his membership
songwriter just touches his screen and goes, nope, boom, and then it goes to. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here so you guys can get back to talking about the Flash.
Well, take care, Lane. Thanks again for being here, and have a great weekend, my friend.
Thank you. Everybody have a good weekend too. Don't enjoy 100-degree weather. It'll come back to bite you. Take care.
Choices, Lane.
Yeah, thanks.
Make good choices.
It's all about bad choices, man. You know that. All right, later.
How dare you?
Hey, what are you selling now? Oh, he's gone.
You said, "Hey, what are you selling?"
Damn.
That guy looks happy.
Museum post face, bro. He doesn't want to get any creases. The worst, horrible little creature. I don't like him.
It's so ugly.
Dude,
I don't think
love
it's
it.
coming out.
It's one of those where it's so bad but so good.
Darren,
It's so well
That
done.
you?
Yeah.
It is well done, and the fact that it
Creepily.
comes with the metal helmet, it probably just magnetizes to the front or the faceplate.
Goofy
pops
looking
off.
ass.
It is goofy, but I love it. Yeah, Gambino, we kind of tried to answer that question. We don't have any indication yet in the U.S. at least. I would imagine probably starting next week, guys. We probably all agree. Probably starting next week. Sean is our release guy, so I'm sure he'll be very much on top of that. And by the way, guys, I know a couple people have mentioned the InArt stuff. I do have the photos pulled up. Bretta actually put up a post in one of the groups with all the photos. We're going to take a look at them after we look at a little bit more stuff here.
Itching to talk about this.
I know. There we go, guys. There's a good shot of the two Jokers. Gambino, I saw you mention you're getting the sculpted Joker. We have the rooted and the sculpted next to each other. And even in this crappy lighting, I think they look really good, man.
They do.
I think they look great. And I love that purple background. It really sets it off. But it's interesting how they do these displays, right? They have them all laid out for a little bit, and then they move them into these cases when they see more people coming in, they don't want people touching anything. So they start moving everything in the cases. But again,
the first people press or something, maybe.
Yeah, and then when everybody starts coming,
when the normal
guys,
people.
thank you so much.
66 and hit the
Execute order 66. Yeah, guys, we need to pump these numbers up on these likes, baby. What do we got? 37. I appreciate you guys. 37 likes. That's amazing. Matt says every year there are figures shown off and not made. Which are they? Time will tell. Yeah, it's I'm not going to try to make any predictions, but obviously,
MODOK.
You said it. You hope it too.
MODOK.
Don't you dare disrespect
Little
MODOK.
gremlin.
Darren was a hero. He's an Avenger. Yes, the fallen Avenger, as Peyton said. The fallen Avenger. Single Songwriter makes a good point, and I kind of said this myself. If I miss out on the rooted Joker, I'll be happy with the sculpted. My Batman needs a Joker to pose with. Yeah, and I think the sculpted looks good enough. I have the sculpted InArt Jokers. I think they look awesome, and I prefer sculpted hair, so I definitely wouldn't mind picking up the sculpted Hot Toys Joker. Ty, thank you so much. Ty says 60 likes at least. Let's go, guys. Yeah, guys, if you're here and you're enjoying the stream, definitely consider dropping a like. Here's a better shot. Just skipped past it really quick because I wanted to see it. Hold on. There's a better shot of that little tongue piece.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm very interested to see. That's the most interesting thing about this. I want to see how that's implemented.
I think Matt's right. It has to come out from the back because otherwise you'd be scratching up the front every time. Like you'd be damaging the lips and stuff if you didn't do it right.
Well, that's what I was saying. I thought it was going to come out from the inside of the head from the back, not like.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was saying.
No, I agree with that.
Inside of the head from the back. I thought you were saying literally from the back of the head.
No. I think there'll be a plate that you can take off, like the DX13,
like the old DX figures.
Yeah, you take that off. There's the thing for the eyes, and then you've got that access.
That's
to that.
fair. I mean, it's definitely a really smart design. If anything, I think it's really cool. I think Hot Toys has been doing good with stuff like that, especially like Crosshair. They did the little magnetic picks that go in his mouth. I thought that was really cool. So, like little things like that definitely make a difference. Matt says a MODOK helmet for you to put your own face on would sell much. Yeah, dude.
You
Like
got
a
3D print.
Hasbro, 3D print it. Hasbro selfie series, but for MODOK. Single songwriter says click the like button and Howard Chan Hot Toys official will drop something after 3 a.m. East Coast time. Hopefully he's gonna be dropping the 2022 Batmobile, right, guys? I think that's what we're hoping for. That's what we're hoping for the next drop, 2022 Batmobile. I know Payton's gonna like that idea.
I like that idea.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right? Why not?
Aiden's hope is every week that they're going to release the 2022 Batman.
That's true. That is true. And that
Or
one's
just-
overdue, Sean.
Yeah.
But holy crap, guys, the chosen one is here, and look how beautiful he looks. He looks absolutely gorgeous. He looks fantastic. His tabards are shiny. His robe is draping nicely. He's got a USB-powered lightsaber in his hand. How good does he look? I can't wait for this, guys, once
They
again.
know how to pose him.
Right? I mean, it's almost like we got professionals here posing this guy.
I like that base too. I think it will look nice with the dark side
it's
Anakin
classy,
base.
and it's got like the
Go
Jedi
together.
Temple flooring on it. It's classy. It's the same base that they used with the new Darth Sidious, the Clone Wars Darth Sidious. And I think it looks good.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it's just obviously a different base design, but it's cool, right? It's something
Originally,
different.
I didn't think this would be like Revenge of the Sith. I thought it'd be like Obi-Wan Kenobi because we saw flashbacks and
Sure, yeah.
and the temple base, but then once you see that Dooku saber, kind of that's
Yeah.
a dead giveaway.
Nails it down.
Well,
Guys,
it's based even from Revenge of the Sith
Yeah.
on the Hot
Say
Toys
what?
site. Or on the
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying too. But like when we first saw it, it was like, I don't know.
When you
Alright,
saw
guys.
it like in the background.
Yeah.
Real quick, Sean does have to go. Sean had, we 2 hours and 29 minutes in. We've
Still
been on
4
here for a
hours
while.
left.
Sean's got to depart.
Oh,
Sean's got
I'm not
priorities.
going
So
some of us
So-
have to take care of kids and feed them.
Yeah.
It's
I gotta
2:30
start
a.m.
to
for
get
me,
back
so I've
in.
got nothing.
Sean,
It's not like
Sean
the
left his
dog where you
protein
hook it
bar
up
on the
to the door
counter
and they go
downstairs,
outside.
so he does have to go. But Sean, we appreciate you. Guys, as always, links are in the description. We got 69 people watching. I love that number. Love that number. We got 69
Nice.
people watching. Sean, thank you so much for being here. Please check out the Hot Toys Nightmare. Links in the description. We very much appreciate you being here, Sean, and sharing your expert opinion as always. And I hope you have a great night, and I hope you enjoy your dinner, because I know you haven't eaten dinner yet.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
What are you
Make
selling?
bad
Sean?
choices, Sean.
What?
What are you selling?
What am I selling right now? Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Eh.
So, guys, if you're looking for Marvel stuff, hit up Sean. He's got
Not
Yeah,
Iron Man
deals
though.
on
Avengers 1 or Age of
I actually might be selling Mark V.
Just the Mark V.
Just a Mark V.
Oh, okay.
just one singular Mark V.
Yeah.
There we go. We got a link for Sean's channel, guys. Please check out the Hot Toys Nightmare as always. We hope you have a great night, Sean, and a great weekend. And thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
You're welcome, Jim Bob the Brown Knob. Miss you.
You can always count on me.
Yep. Ghost, good to see you. Fine job. Miss you. Love you.
Too soon.
Wait, who are you talking to?
What an exit. What an exit. Big Dog Pound is here. Don't you worry. Now it's just the three of us, guys. We're holding on.
The Three
But yeah,
Musketeers.
4
Three
hours left.
Musketeers. Yeah, 4 hours.
Oh,
left,
we're
right?
not, dude. I'm
No,
tapping.
we're not going to make
We're
it to
not
6
going to
hours,
6.
guys. But again, the Anakin just looks so good here. Obviously, there's a few loose hairs here and there. Don't like that, but that's part of moving them back and forth in the displays that happens at these events. But I think he looks fantastic. I'm really excited to pick him up. I do want to take a look at this figure here, so I want to go forward a little bit because this is our first time seeing it tonight and what we've been looking at. Oh my God, guys!
Oh, he's coming back.
how are they gonna fake us out? Come on, stop playing with me, Toys TV. Go back. There we go. Oh my God, guys, this is really exciting. This figure has been in the graveyard for eons. And I've said so many times, my number one graveyard figure that I would love to see pulled out was the Death
Daft
Star
Punk.
Trooper. And how cool is this display? Yeah, Daft Punk. It's the DJ Death Star Trooper. But how cool is this display base? I know it's going to inflate the cost quite a bit, but dude, he looks incredible. I think if you don't have the Death Star gunner, this is the next best thing. And it's crazy because, again, this is another one of those figures. I think if this does get announced, that Death Star gunner is going to shoot up even more than it already has because it's a companion piece for that figure. But I mean, this is incredible. And not only that, imagine you buy 2 of these, you take one of them and put them outside, and then you stick one of the Death Star gunners inside the display, you know, and have 2 of these set up. It's a big space allotment, but holy crap, does it look good. This is really exciting. I never expected for them to drag this one out of the gutter, but they certainly did. Unfortunately, there's no RSVP on Sideshow. I don't believe. Actually, no, there might be. I think there actually might be an RSVP on Sideshow. You guys might have to double check that. I can't remember, but there's the Feral Predator again, looking awesome. There's one other thing I wanted to take a look at before we move to the InArt stuff. Let me see. Well, let's just move to the InArt stuff. I think we kind of looked at everything. I know a lot of people have been asking in the chat about the InArt stuff, guys, so don't worry. We're taking a look. Again, shout out to Bretta for sharing these photos. I think this is it here. Hold on.
Pennywise in the background, too.
Bro, and Connor, this is the MJ I was telling you about earlier. He just came out and was standing there, and people were passing out. Like, just passing out.
Kind of like Elvis, dude. I mean, you know, Michael Jackson and Elvis and kind of huge performers like them had that effect on people. I don't know if this is the original post. There's more photos. Here we go. Sorry, guys. Let me pull up this post. These are just the photos that Ryan sent me in DM. I'm going to pull up Bretta's post.
OG put the link in. There is a...
thank you. Okay. I started to second guess myself because I thought I remembered seeing it, but thank you so much. But guys, here we have the InArt Michael Jackson, and I know they've talked about doing multiples. Let me blow up this photo here. They've talked about doing at least 2, and I love that they went with a unique look because, you know, Hot Toys has done a lot. They've done the Billie Jean, they've done the Thriller, they've done the Beat It, they've done a lot of different looks. We've had some third-party Smooth Criminals and stuff like that, so there's been a lot of different ones, but I think this is such a cool look, and this base is awesome. I like that InArt's kind of going all out with these bases.
Do you think it lights up?
I hope so, dude. I hope
That'd
so.
be
It would
cool.
be such a miss if it doesn't. I mean, it does look like they're actual lights. So I'm really hoping that it actually lights up. But how cool is that? And not only that, I love the hand down here that looks like it has a microphone in it. I'm guessing that's what that is, or maybe it's USB power. There is light coming from here.
It's very classy display base. I like it a lot.
Very classy, very giant display base. So it's going to take up a lot of space, but I think it's a great look, a great choice in an outfit. And like Chris said, this is a very unique look because it's not a look that he wore a lot of. But I think it looks awesome. I think this is incredible. I would have never guessed that. I know John at one point from InArt mentioned doing the Pepsi commercial look. So maybe that'll be the next figure. But I think this one looks great. I love the shine.
Yeah, they better give us a hair caught on fire.
I know. Yeah, they got to. But I think the sculpt looks pretty good. I do want to see it without the glasses on because obviously
I want to see the sculpt.
Yeah. I want to see it without the glasses on because you can kind of lose a little bit of the likeness there. But overall, I think he looks dope. It's a great outfit.
I can't remember how long he stood there, but he stood there with the glasses, and then he didn't even speak nothing either. Took them off, and like people were still like tripping. Like,
and this is like Joe P said, this is an early 90s MJ. This is an older look. This is an older performance, an older show that he wore this outfit at. And again, I just think it looks really good. I was really excited when I heard InArt was doing MJ, and I'm definitely glad they chose something unique. Is this the most iconic look? No, but it's unique, and that's all that matters to me.
It's one that benefits from the Rude as well.
Absolutely. And I think they did a good job. I'm liking how the hair is looking. I do want to see more. Again, I want to see what those eyes look like underneath the glasses for those that you know, Chris has mentioned that moment where he takes the glasses off. Maybe you want to replicate that. So how does he look underneath the glasses? But
what is the other part that's on the left of it?
It's like a secondary base with a lamp, and the lamp is obviously LED lit. I don't know what this is. For a second, I thought it was like a microphone, but it doesn't look like a microphone.
You'd have to move. Actually, it might be headset because we're blocked. You can probably see more than we can, but we're
right here.
Yeah.
So it's like a little. Sorry, so I didn't realize I was blocking that. This almost looks like those little headsets that he wore.
Yeah, I think like if he has earpieces in.
Right. And then you got a lamp here. I wonder if that's real metal. It looks like real metal.
Just trying to work out what that'd be for.
Posable too.
Yeah.
Maybe like a stage light. I don't know.
It looks really good. Either that or maybe they made it just for the show to kind of show off the figure.
Like, you know, in the front, that too, but in the front of the stage, how they'd have those lights pointed up at, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt, the base is going to be very expensive, but it looks awesome. It really does. Another one that's really
exciting.
exciting.
I don't want it.
Another one that's really exciting is Paul Atreides, and this couldn't have come at a better time because I've been considering the AUG toys when I did pre-order the other two figures, the Leto and Josh Brolin's character. But it looks like InArt's giving us 2 sculpts with this one, which is really cool. So obviously you have the still suit here, and we do have a mass sculpt, which I think was a good idea because, you know, you don't want to scratch up the sculpt. I think it's cool that they included that still suit there. A lot of
MJ
hands.
definitely doesn't come with that. Sorry to cut you off, but because you can see they're using the same lights. Like here,
That's what I was saying. That's my secondary
That's
thought.
just...
It could be something they're just using in the display, but they did make it unique for MJ. It had the MJ logo and everything, but
yeah,
this is a really cool base, and I think the tailoring and the wiring and the cloak here, it looks really good. I'm not seeing enough of the sculpt here to say whether I think it's a great sculpt or not. I do think the hair looks awesome, but I want to see more of this sculpt.
It's another one that really benefits from the rooted. They are choosing really good ones for it.
Because Timothy de Chalamet had really like loose, long hair and messy hair.
Similar to Heath Ledger.
Exactly. So definitely, I think the rooted hair looks pretty good on this one, but definitely want to see more. I don't want to judge it too much. We got something in the back here that I know a lot of people want to see, including myself.
Kate, though.
I will say, after seeing this photo, the color looks much better than it did in the promo photos. However,
closer.
And we do have another sculpt here. This is, I don't think that's the original sculpt we were shown.
It's not.
No.
There's 2.
And you see the kryptonite piece.
The other. Yeah, just like the Hot Toys one. And it looks like he had a Batman cowl too.
This is really disappointing. A side note, disappointing to see the sculpted hair on the because I pre-ordered this. I already have it.
Yeah, that looks smooth.
I still don't like it. I want to see closer up photos, but I have it paid off, dude. Everything else looks great. Like the coat looks great, and the wiring in the coat, everything looks great. But it just something's off about it, guys. I don't know what it is. He is, yes, OG. He is known for those flowing locks for sure.
At least they got a clear acrylic stand. Like they got the memo for flight, bro. I don't know why Hot Toys keeps doing that.
Black crap. Not sold on the sculpt, guys.
It's like 70%.
Yeah, it needs. I mean, and I do believe they'll go back to the drawing board and fix it, but right now it's off.
They did the same hair style that Hot Toys did.
Right, it's still slicked the wrong way.
Yeah, and I think the eyes are off in it. Other than that,
it's not terrible. It's not terrible by any means, but it needs work for sure.
The suit, like it needs the chrome underbody. I did. Yeah. I mean, you guys have probably seen this already.
It looks,
but it hasn't got that shine.
Yeah,
which is movie accurate. Like he actually did have the chrome underbody.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, other photos
maybe a little bit
show it a little bit more, but it's a little bit in there in this one. But
yeah, you can see it more there.
This is the Vision sculpt. It looks like
I really like that sculpt.
I actually do like this sculpt. I don't hate it.
If it doesn't light up, it's like a pass.
There's no way they don't have that light up. There's no way.
I think that's the size of the Superman logo needs to be adjusted as well.
Yeah,
it needs to be bigger.
Yeah,
that's the Justice League one. Just to iterate the can you pull up the group again? If
Which one?
Put the Facebook chat, if I put in a picture.
Yeah. Let me see.
This was the other one.
But yeah, he comes with it looks like a Batman cowl, the kryptonite spear, and kryptonite.
That's cool. I mean, I'm definitely glad to see they included the. Payton said it's the wrong way. I don't know if you're talking about the hair. Still waiting for your photo to come through, but
wait in the. Oh, I put in the wrong one. My bad.
I do
just
like
sent it to some random
though.
group.
God dang it, Owen!
Crazy.
There you go. Put it back in.
Let's see.
That was on me. That was the one that I think Payton was talking about, the third party angry sculpt.
Yeah, I never cared for that one.
Yeah, the InArt one has like nailed the expression
the
so much
InArt
more.
one's way better for sure. I think this is the stronger of the two sculpts.
Me too.
I'm still not.
I really like
sold on that original sculpt though. I definitely think it needs work. And again, the hair is still the wrong way. Yeah, they need to address that, which I think they will.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's the same way as the Hot Toys when people say it's wrong.
Yeah, but that's from Justice League. In Justice League, it went the other way.
I thought it was like that in both movies. I thought it was the same.
I mean,
I could be wrong.
no, that is
I thought-
correct. That is correct.
Yeah, people always complained about it being the wrong way. So then it's just Justice League that he switched.
It's only for Justice League that he switched
I
up,
will
yeah.
say though, how
And I don't
beautiful
give
is
a
the
fuck.
wiring in this cape? Absolutely
yeah.
gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Yeah, they nailed that.
Yeah, it looks really
That looks like
good.
better than the custom capes that you could buy.
Yeah, it looks really good. And the attachment points on the shoulders look good as well. I have no complaints about that. Again, the logo definitely needs to be fixed. I think
It's
the
bigger
sculpt
on the
needs
Hot
some work,
Toys,
but
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Oh, there's a close-up shot of MJ right there. Holy crap, man. What a beautiful outfit. And something this is very difficult to replicate in 6-scale form because of the type of material. And I think they nailed it. I think it looks fantastic. And
It could
sculpt
have
looks
easily
good,
looked
man.
I like
bulky.
the hair drooping in
For
his
sure.
face too.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. I just want to see him with the glasses off, man. That's what I want to see. But overall, I mean, proportions great. Tailoring looks excellent. I think overall it looks really good. I can't wait to see more of them though. I want to see more. I want to see the head sculpt in full. That's what I want to see.
I want to see that promo pics. The promo pics are pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Paragon.
another shot.
You
of,
get those
Aragon.
promos, they'll probably have them in dancing poses too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
from
this
that.
looks awesome. I mean, I'm not a Lord of the Rings guy, but I
Yeah,
do
me
think
neither.
that sculpt is pretty solid.
My friend was saying he was looking at the rooted Anakin versus something like that figure.
Yeah.
How can you justify the price of Anakin versus that one when that one looks as good as it does?
Yeah. Another shot. Again, I'd like to see more of the sculpt. It looks pretty good. I don't think it's like mind blowing, but I think the likeness is pretty good. I
Isn't
do like
there
the
a
stuff that he
third
comes
party
with.
of this
though.
guy?
No,
It's not third party.
It's officially licensed. There's two
No,
of them.
I'm saying, isn't there
I
a
don't know if
third
they did
party
a third
company
party.
doing it?
All
I
Toys
think-
is
yeah.
licensed.
I think you're thinking of them. I thought it was third party too.
Yeah, they're officially licensed. It was actually their first figures.
That sculpt's really good. I like that one a lot.
It's just again the sculpted hair. I don't know, man. It seems like they're getting better with their sculpted hair on the newer figures, but on these older ones, I'm just not sold on their sculpted hair.
I'd probably have the cowl on that guy anyway.
But the suit looks amazing. They did a fantastic job on the suit. It's just the release time for that one I'm curious about.
It saddens me. That was supposed to be due for April.
I know. We'll be seeing the Hot Toys one probably very soon as
Yeah.
well.
That one
This
looks amazing.
base is incredible. Again, with the Pennywise, I'm very concerned about the shape of the hair on the regular sculpt. I wish I could get my hands on this sculpt for my Hot Toys version because this
Yeah.
is way better than the two
So
sculpt
creepy.
from the
A lot
Hot Toys
better.
version. I don't see myself getting this one because I have two of the Hot Toys ones, but I do want to get a hold of this head sculpt because that head sculpt's awesome. My boy,
Hello, little Harry.
the hair isn't the best.
Yo, wizard.
Is that the
that's
rooted
what's
one?
there. This is the rooted one, yeah.
That's pretty. It's like very
Yeah,
neat.
They didn't futz with the hair too much on this one. It looks way better in the promo photos, but he looks awesome, dude. I can't wait. Can't wait to pick this one up.
Which
and
makes
I
me
love,
worried
love
because
this.
don't you think shorter hair would be harder to deal with too?
I thought that was the case
It's
as
like
well.
smaller strands and stuff.
Yeah,
so
I thought that was always the sort of general consensus.
yeah,
Gandalf.
it might stick up some. So that might be a
Again, guys,
nightmare.
the pea coat here looks really good. The trench coat here looks really good. It's just the sculpted hair I'm not sold on. And the sculpt,
Yeah, the red looks good.
it does look good.
Ooh, that's
look
good.
at That right.
Money.
Even
That's the money
dimple
shot.
on the chin looks fantastic. And the nose too. They nailed the nose. You're a wizard, Harry.
Are the
I wish you
sunglasses
could
not see through at all?
I was just about to say that. I wish
Yeah.
you could see through the
No,
lenses.
they're
a little bit.
reflective, just like the jacket. They're reflective. Sucks, man. It's just they're right there. The eyes are right there. I just want to see what the eyes look like. There's probably a reason they're not showing the eyes. They're probably
Dude,
still
the
working.
hair
on it.
on him though is
What a beautiful base though, man. It just looks really good. I think that's everything. Yeah, that's everything, guys. So, well, I know we were joking.
Look what Jordan just said.
What did Jordan say? Rumor for the week is Hot Toys Pet. I hope so, Jordan. I know we've been talking about it forever. I hope
It is now Friday.
I hope so. Next week. I think he's talking about next week.
Yeah,
Oh, he said
I'm
this
messing.
week.
Yeah, he did say this week.
I think you're talking about next week. I'm gonna.
they've
assume
done
so.
stuff on Thursday nights.
They have, but it's rare, so I'm not gonna put all my chips.
It's Friday
in,
for me.
Yeah.
But guys, there is a few more close-ups. I don't have the photos. If you want to send them to me, you can look real quick before we close out. I don't have the photos though. So if you have them, feel free to send them over. Or just put a link in the chat or something. But yes, guys, 53 people still watching as we're about to close out here. I highly recommend hopping over to the Hot Toys Hotline Facebook group. Once again, we're going to be giving away a lot of stuff in there. we're over 400 members at this point. The group's growing very quickly, and I very much appreciate it. I love your guys' enthusiasm in both the chat and in the main page, all the posts and stuff you guys are putting up. I very much appreciate it. Let's see. And also, guys, if you haven't already, consider liking this video as well as subscribing to the channel. I'd very much appreciate it. I got a lot of stuff coming up. As you guys saw, I've been putting out a lot of videos. I got a lot of recent reviews on the channel. Definitely check out all those reviews. I hope you guys enjoy them. I have a lot of other figures that I need to do reviews on. I also have to do my DeLorean video as well. I think he just sent me the photos here. Let me see. Oh, we do have a couple here. I will share these real quick with you guys because there's actually some close-ups here of the Superman and holy crap, yeah. Before we close out, because I have to share this with you because these close-ups are really good. Hold on.
Hot Toys just updated 1 minute ago.
With what?
Holy shit, that's good.
Yeah, this is.
I like that.
I love the eyes.
That's
that's so good.
Look at the detail on the hair too.
This
like
is
the sweat a little bit on the forehead. I like it for sure.
Yeah, this is the winner out of the two. The other sculpt needs work, but this is solid. And then yeah, I mean the likeness is pretty good. I mean, is it? I don't think it's like a perfect 10, but it looks pretty good. I mean,
the thing is it's hard
for Kamen Rider, the Black Sun.
Oh, really?
It's hard
those are released now. It's an instant release for those.
Hard to compare with the Org one when that one is actually really good.
Yeah, I mean, Toys did a pretty good job, and on that one, I think the lightness isn't like mind blowing either. But I think this one looks pretty good, and I do like the fact that they included that mask sculpt as like a secondary piece, so you don't have to scratch up your head sculpt.
Yeah.
I think it looks good.
So it's not third party. We all thought it was the third party one.
Well, the
Org Toys is officially licensed.
But it's their first figure, so everyone was like, no one knows who this was.
They've done, Toys has done 2 Paul Atreides. They did Leto Atreides recently. He's up for pre-order. And then they did, I always forget the name of Josh Brolin's character, but he's up for pre-order as well through 1/6 kit.
Yeah, I got you. And we were like, because it looked so good or whatever, it was hard to believe.
Yeah, Nightmare Superman. Yeah, it certainly looks like a Nightmare Superman. He looks fantastic. Like I said,
it looks like the scene from Nightmare.
Dude, come on.
Yeah, he looks awesome. I'm definitely a huge fan. I like the evil look on his face and kind of that like crackling effect by his eyes.
It's the face from where he rips the cowl off Batman. That's what it looks like they've copied there.
Yep.
So then that's why the cowl comes with them too.
And
yeah, I think so.
What I was hoping for was like the kryptonite grenade to have him like ripping that and exploding in his face. How good would that be with this?
That would be so cool. Yeah.
But unfortunately, we don't see that.
Because comparing that to the Justice League Superman angry sculpt, I don't like that one either with the teeth.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is definitely, in terms of the angry sculpts, this is the one. And the expression on the lips is perfect because that's exactly what he did. This reminds me too, without the eyes as much. You remember when he started to regain his strength when Batman was beating the shit out of him? He started. He had that frown on his face, that like little frowny smirk. So this could really work with a lot of displays. I think
going with like armored Batman just to look pissed off as well.
I just want to see it light up.
Yeah. I'm curious to see more, but thank you so much for sharing those photos. But once again, guys, as always, thank you so much, everybody, for being here on the way out. If you haven't already, like the stream and subscribe. I'd very much appreciate it. Subscribe to Collecting Madness. Links in the description. Chris has been pumping out a lot of videos. Chris, I know you just put out a few reviews on the channel. So you've been cooking up some videos like I have.
Trying. I got Dooku up there and Emperor Palpatine still. I've been putting up some shorts. And then the only thing I have next upcoming is some Galaxy's Edge sabers, just some stuff that I got there, and then a collection tour, hopefully after that.
Yeah, so a lot of great stuff coming out, guys. Once again, links in the description. Check out Chris's channel. And then Owen in the detail, if you can find him on Instagram and on TikTok. I know he's really big over there on TikTok. So
yeah, TikTok.
Definitely check him out. It's great to have Owen back. Hopefully we see him somewhere over the rainbow again. You know, Owen likes to keep his appearances brief because, you know, it's really late for him right now.
It's
like
3 a.m.
So
yeah.
We appreciate you being here, Owen, but I know there was a lot of good stuff that you wanted to talk about. So what better stream to come back on with the Feral Predator and the InArt MJ and the InArt Superman. A lot of great stuff to talk about. All this great stuff from Hot Toys. So there we go. OG dropping all the links in the description for you. Thank you so much, OG. Guys, a quick update. I do want to close out the poll, and then for Off the Racks, guys, I just wanted to update everybody who buys from Off the Racks. The code has been nerfed a little bit. So it's going from $15 to $10. Some of you may have already noticed it. You know, businesses have to make money somewhere. We're already getting such a great deal with Off the Racks, way cheaper than Sideshow. So the coupon is now $10 versus $15. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. Also, I'm going to close our poll out because we had a poll about the DX figures. The question was, guys, are you willing to shell out the money for the DX Artisan figures? We had 48% say yes, 52% said no. So a decent amount of people are willing to shell out money for these figures. And that just shows, kind of going along with the InArt thing, people are willing to shell out for more premium figures, more premium materials, hopefully. With the Anakin, we haven't seen any info about that yet. But really, really awesome to see that a lot of people are interested in this DX Artisan line, because I know I am. I know everybody on the panel is. So I think that's a pretty fair split, almost 50-50.
It's closer than I thought, especially with 95 votes. You've got a pretty good range there.
It's a good ratio, 50-50. You can't go wrong with that. So, but as always, guys, thank you so much for being here. Very much appreciate you. As always, check out the links in the description to Off the Racks 1/6 kit. Jeremy from Plastic Hero Collectibles, go hit him up, especially if you're looking for some rare stuff. It's going to be hard for these Anakins and these Jokers, guys. RSVP on Sideshow. Stay on your toes. Once again, join the Hot Toys Hotline Facebook group if you want to stay up to date with all the info, because we will update you guys on those releases and many other things as they are announced or teased. That's a great place to be if you want to find out info very quickly. So that's all we got for you guys. Almost 3 hours in. We're just 7 minutes shy. I know we didn't make our 6 hour mark, but we tried. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Fault. It is Owen's fault. He cut us off early now. But 3 hours is great. I'll take it. Thank you so much, guys, for being here and hanging out with us. I very much appreciate it. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And as always, we will see you next week, next Thursday, hopefully again at 7 p.m. EST with some more exciting stuff as we get more information from Hot Toys and all these other companies. So thank you so much for being here, guys. I very much appreciate every single one of you. If I didn't say hi to you or I didn't read some of your comments, I'm sorry. We're just kind of sucked into everything. But I hope you guys have a great night. KTH, Control, Delete, 12-inch Moose Stream, Single Songwriter, everybody here. I love you all. I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you next time.